This crossover episode of Just Barbarian Things and the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of the Esoteric Order backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow all of us on Facebook, Twitter, and
Instagram
to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord communities to chat with players and fellow listeners. Links are in the description. The members of these episodes broadcast from New Mexico and Colorado. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territories of the Pueblo and Ute peoples. We acknowledge their communities, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers and Just Barbarian Things present A Start in Glorantha, based on the RuneQuest starter set available from Chaosium. This game features Rainey as the game master, and David Larkins, Des, Kenny, and Santiago as players.
Oh, that's been chill. That's way more calm. They've calmed it down.
It is chiller.
Yeah.
And now there's a pop-up too that
Yeah.
asks for you to acknowledge. Yeah.
Like, please consent to giving your voice to the sea
Yeah,
witch.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only for
Correct.
Ursula.
All right.
All right. Let's see.
Only for Ursula.
Levels.
Okay. That.
Oh,
Okay.
Kenny got so surprised.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
I'm gonna be doing that while we're playing.
You should.
Or like, or I guess I could do like a Guthamer, like
That was good.
That was very good. All right. Oh,
how do I turn this down?
I'm there.
Oh my god.
I'm getting too scared.
Too scary. Too scary.
Too scary.
You have to adjust levels and everything. It's a whole thing with background.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If it gets loud, let me know. I will fix.
Okay.
Okay.
But no, you don't have to get super serious or anything. I just started recording, so when we start talking about game stuff, it's already on, and we don't forget and miss half of it.
I mean, my tone has completely changed.
I know. Everyone's like, the lady said I'm being recorded.
Oh,
Ladies said I'm being recorded. The music is very tense.
It is the new beginnings track. Gotta start
I
with
like
that.
it.
Oh. All right.
Okay. Turn it down a little bit.
oh my god.
There's gonna be a lot of that. Whenever I'm confused, like doing math in my head.
Can't possibly be worse than my Palladium house rules.
Oh no.
Those are so good. What are you talking about?
I just
Dude, it's
celebrate
like
every
arithmetic
time
drills.
Kenny's like, you can hear the math happening in his head, and he's like, okay, this, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, I really just
Right.
guess on everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, so when you said 9 plus 10, what you meant was
It's really good. It's very good. I could have sworn I downloaded something and now I can't find it.
oh, I downloaded your thingies, your handouts.
Character sheets and handouts.
These amazing handouts that Rainey made from
Oh, I
scratch.
wish. I didn't
from
get the-
scratch.
I didn't get the character sheet. Hold on.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of options for character
Grab
sheets. It's
that.
actually the first thing we can talk about. You'll want
Oh.
to have one that you like, because you're going to be tracking your character, not me. Haha.
Did, oh yeah. So can you?
Yeah, well.
How do I find that character
Oh,
sheet?
I
in
can
the
give you the
Discord?
link.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it's pinned,
It's pinned in the Discord.
but
Is it
also
pinned?
it's on our Demi-Plane page too.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I don't see it pinned, but I am.
It's the Google Doc, link that she's got up there.
The drive folder for Glorantha stuff.
Oh, that's right. There was a folder in there too.
The folio one is pretty cool. I like that one a lot. But do whatever you want. And honestly, if you're old school and just like a piece of graph paper, I mean, live your life.
Yeah.
What's the folio one? Is that a fillable one?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the one that's
Yeah, it is infillable.
Yeah.
And is it the first one that looks pretty neat?
Yeah, the first one.
Okay, I'm gonna use that one.
Wait, which one are you using? Are you using the one that is
I'll direct link it to you.
background? No, I have mine. I
Okay.
have mine. I'm just curious which ones folks are picking. Because I'm just curious about these things. Character sheets in general. I'm wondering
Okay.
which one are you using?
Character
Oh my
sheets.
God.
You know what? There was a whole. It was at Gen Con online last year, and there was like a whole seminar on designing effective character sheets.
Really?
And yeah, there's this
Yeah,
lady.
I still have that bookmarked actually.
Good. Yeah,
watched it.
there's this lady who she did the character sheets for Zweihander and Zweihander and
My Honda.
and yeah, she has like a whole YouTube thing where she just like talks about making character sheets and stuff like that, and how to convey important information concisely and stuff like that. And it's really fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this cutting edge of science that nobody thinks about.
Nope.
You're like-
Well, yeah, no, that I can definitely attest to that. No one fucking thinks about it. And then they're like, here you go, play a game. With what?
Yep.
Oh, this friggin' stone tablet and a chisel and a friggin' whatever the hell, hammer. Here, try to make sense of your character. Sorry, this is a
Yep.
rant. This is one
So
of
the
the
thing
I,
is, I like
I
about
actually
the
prefer-
folio. Yeah.
Ooh,
I
go
prefer
ahead.
6 stone tablets, just I want to say. I
Yeah.
prefer 6 stone
you would.
tablets. Go ahead.
You would.
Yeah. No,
Sorry,
I would
Rainey.
too.
Yeah.
Rainey.
The thing I like about the folio that made me think of Des is that it is, especially if you print it, one page double-sided. And you can fold it up to make it fun to look at. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
I-
It is pretty
have
cool.
thoughts.
Yeah, I have the worst handwriting on the planet, so I always shoot for the fillables.
Nice. Yeah.
Always.
I like having electronic copies of things. It makes me happy.
Mhm.
Same.
But I'm like that, where people are like, do you want this printed? Like if I'm doing something for work or whatever, I'm like, no, it's on my computer.
Yeah,
I'm
I have
good.
it. It's fine.
I'm like,
So
why are you
weird.
trying
You
to,
don't need to
why are you
kill
trying to
trees
kill
for
the
this.
planet? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange. No, we don't have time for my character sheet rant, but thank you for providing us many options, Rainey.
Yeah, that's a Patreon exclusive.
No, nobody, trust me, no one wants to listen
Should be.
I want to.
We should
Ooh.
have a palaver that's just about character sheets. Honestly.
Well,
I'm a salt miner. I like to encourage people to bitch about things. Because I want to be
Penny.
like, oh yeah, me too.
Dude, you need to have a filter that turns your eyes like hyper blue, and you can just like, as people are ranting and raving about shit. For those of you
He's
following
an
along,
energy
I tried to
vampire.
make the Colin Robinson face in my camera, and I don't know how successful I was.
It
but
was. No, we
I
got
hope
it.
I think it landed. So
yeah, it did. Okay, yeah,
That's
we don't have
what you
time
can
for
do,
this.
Kenny.
We want to think about future Rainey editing
That's
this. So
Yeah, sorry, Rainey.
let's do it for future Rainey.
Good. All right.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
First,
Oh, no.
Go for it.
I don't know. Can you turn the music down just a tad?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
can turn it down
Like,
a heck.
yeah, just a little.
Oh, there, much
Perfect.
better.
Is that
I
good?
love
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And some tracks will be louder than others because,
Your soundtracks may vary.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I
that's
didn't
right.
make them. I'm not that
Because the-
person.
What?
Because the world is diverse and interesting.
Right.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
All right.
I love
Does
those wonderful phrases.
everyone
Infinite
have
diversity.
access to the core RuneQuest book?
No.
No.
Okay. I can share things that way too. So let me.
Should
let
I
me-
buy it? Is this a thing worth buying?
maybe
I
you should.
think it's rad as heck, but
It's a cool book.
brought in your question. Like, did anybody do anything or download anything at all to
Yes.
prepare in any way whatsoever?
Yes.
Like, what do
I'm
you
not
have?
mean like that.
Like, you know what I mean?
I'm
Well,
just making
saying,
sure.
if you open it up like that, I would be in the same boat if it wasn't for you, because you like were like, okay, do this, and like handheld through the whole thing, and so like, you know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd be like, I downloaded nothing. I don't have anything. Where is the thing? Like, not.
Well, that's yeah. I think that's a good point. I'm kind of like, I understand that expedition of or facilitation here. So, David, you have a core rule book, correct?
Correct.
All
Oh
right.
my god!
I added mine to the drive so it can be
Okay,
our
thank
little our shared table copy for now.
Thank you.
But only because compared to some systems I've run through character creation in, this one has a lot where you're probably going to want to read through and make choices, and they're like, it's more than I can just share on a screen.
Mhm.
So it's probably easier if you all have that.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
I kind of know already what I want to do and play, but I know some of us are new to the system-ish, and you know, I love reviewing all of this because it helps me to think, oh, is that really what I want to do for my character, and then moving forward. It's really fun, I think, this character creation, and I don't really like character creation that much, and I think this makes it really interesting because it gives you a lot of context overall.
That's
in the
my
book.
phrase.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not the end all be all of opinions, but in terms of user friendly and interesting context character sheets, this is character creation. This is it.
So this is RuneQuest role playing in Glorantha by
Correct.
Chaosium. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy
Second printing even.
Second
printing.
printing.
it. I'm just gonna buy it because I make that drive-through RPG money.
Mm.
That's right.
It's in your
Get some credits.
drive-through wallet. You just have it
so-
ready to go.
Yeah, they just pay me in credit, so I just buy Call of
Mhm.
Cthulhu stuff and whatever else I need, which is pretty cool.
Although,
honestly.
Kenny, if you bought the PDF through Chaosium and then later decided to buy the hard copy, you would get the PDF cost discounted from your hard copy
It's
cost.
true.
Wow, David, how does that work?
Well, it's simple.
Tell me more.
Honestly, Chaosium is one of the only publishers I buy direct from because of that. Like, otherwise I do drive-through RPG for everything.
Yeah. They have the bits and mortar program, which I quite
That too,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chaosium's
Yeah, it's like the other way around.
Yeah, I fuck with Chaosium, especially since they hit that woke RPG top 10 woke snowflake libtard games.
Oh my god!
They did indeed.
Love it.
Especially David Larkins. He's public enemy
Yeah, I got
number
called
out by
two.
For real. I know. I almost
Ooh.
tagged you in it, but I was like, I don't want to put like a target on David's back.
Yeah, that was wise.
Like,
Yeah.
look, there he is, everyone.
Yeah, like, oh, Sir Larkins opening the
There
gate,
he is.
role playing for everyone. There he is.
Spotlight. It's like the eye of Sauron, just like casting its light over. No, little hobbit, hide. Bury that. Okay,
Yeah.
so Rainy, we
Yes.
are playing RuneQuest.
We're playing RuneQuest, role-playing Glorantha, second printing by Chaosium.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what we were doing. So like the basic overview of my understanding of character creation, having tried to break it down, is what makes it super interesting is you will make a lot of choices and some things that aren't your choice. And all of those together kind of build a package that makes your character extraordinarily unique. So it's less cookie cutter and more like, oh, but I chose a slightly different homeland, so now I'm going to have some different stuff. And so it gets real detailed. You can get into it, which is why in talking with David previously, we were like, maybe we'll finish characters today. Who knows? It's like that. So we'll start with a couple things that you get to pick, and then we'll get into family history, which is a lot like if you are familiar with Pendragon, for example, you get to experience some of the history of the world and your family's place in it. as well as your own. And it's pretty neat. And then we'll see how far we get after that. All right.
If we already have an idea of what we want to play,
is
that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything other than some of the rando bits of your family history, you could have pre-selected at this point, pretty much everything else for the most part. And it doesn't hurt anything. It just means that you'll be hanging out and helping other people figure out their stuff for some parts.
All right, yeah, that's a very good point. And I just want to say that if I ever chime in or am like riffing on your ideas, it doesn't mean I'm trying to tell you what to do or how to play your character, how to run your character, how to create your character. I'm just adding little insights that pop in as I'm thinking about your character. So definitely nothing personal. I realize that like after how many years of gaming that I should probably say that. I'm just getting excited and sharing my ideas.
I do the same thing.
Okay, good. All right, good. So and you don't even have to take the like I'm not even offended if you're like, yeah, no, it's like it's fine. So I just want to make that clear. Yeah. After how many years of gaming, I'm finally having that like little caveat or warning.
I actually do get offended if you don't use my ideas.
Oh my god.
Oh, well, we'll see how this goes.
That's how it's going to be, Kenny, right? All right, I get it.
So for those of you that are logged into Demiplane, just to talk a little bit about how you can use it. So it's super minimal, but things that the reason I chose this and do have it running is one, it does have our Zoom link in there too, if you ever need to reference it, which is always nice to have that in as many places as possible. There is a dice roller if you want to use it. There is chat there where you can put pictures in, so it's a little bit more friendly than Zoom chat, but we have Discord too, so it doesn't really matter. But the main thing is if you click on like show adventure tools, like at the top left, if you're on your browser window, there's a journal where you can take your personal notes and even share them with other people in the party if you want to. And there will be a new journal entry for every session that we open, so you can keep notes in there. And then as we get into the game, there's also a task list. So if someone's like, hey, can you go get me 10 apples or whatever it is quest givers tell you to do, you can keep track of them there. So if you're ignoring someone and prioritizing other stuff, you can still reference all of those things. So it's like a really lean tracker that you are able to share with each other to keep y'all on the same page.
Cool. Thank you so much for setting this out, setting it up. Out.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Laying it out and setting it out.
Yeah. Like a buffet.
Yeah. I love this kind of stuff. This kind of like digital, this is like peak digital gaming for me. And I like doing this stuff even for in-person games.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we're not using some of the tools that like Demiplane's really built around, but I like the fact that we can have a journal and a quest log basically, and that's good enough for me for what we need to do. So like you said, you can keep it in the background, use it if you want to, don't if you don't, but it's there if you want those tools. That's pretty much it. Also, it tracks our game days and times, and if we reschedule, you'll get little notifications in there and stuff. So it's kind of nice. But yeah, so that exists. All right.
I also noticed there's like an adventurers only breakout room where we can go talk shit with.
Yeah, you can talk about stuff I can't see.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's
Where's
like
that.
So if you are looking at Demiplane on the right side, if you have chat like bumped out, so it's like under the party list, there's game chat, there's GM chat, there's party chat. There's all the stuff that, if you want to get into stuff, you can. And yeah, you can chat without me. You can chat just to me if you're being secret. And then, there's all that fun stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's there if you want it. If we were using Demiplane, like you can't record through there, so it doesn't work for podcast games. But one of the cool things about it is you can separate groups too. Like if the party splits, you can actually put them in different like chat groups so they can't hear each other and stuff. It's kind of neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I also like the adventure style matrix.
Yeah. So I set what I feel like RuneQuest is looking like so far. And you can see how that compares if you did your own personal matrix, how it compares to your personal preferences, which I think is fun.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna
can you
ask
see our personal preferences? Because
If-
I did mine.
If I look at your profile, I can see yours.
Oh, okay.
And when you are like, if people ask to join your game, you can see what their matrix is before you allow them in. So you can be like, nah, we
That's
don't
cool.
match. Go on your way.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
This
like
is
a,
interesting.
Yeah.
it's like
neat.
an RPG Tinder.
Yeah. And it's really based around
right.
the idea of like paid games and stuff too, which we're obviously not doing. But like you can like tip your DM and stuff like that at the end of the game.
You guys
Wow.
didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
You guys didn't pay for this.
Mm.
No.
I only
Uh,
charged
I-
Kenny because yeah.
I had to buy my way in.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's there. All right.
Cool.
So character creation, step 1. The first thing that we need to look at and decide, if you haven't decided already, is what homeland, what region within this realm that we're going to be playing in your character is from. And the reason we're going to pick that first is as we go through your family history, where you're from matters in what they may have encountered before you were even around as a character person. So there's a couple of different pages. I'm just going to share it this way because it's easier. Where do I want to share? Basic. Just share these one. Yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
So,
Oh.
you see the right thing? We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So basic descriptions of all of the little homeland regions are on page 24. And then the big old detailed descriptions with like everything you may ever need to know about them is on 103. So what I've found to be helpful, if you're not sure yet, is to kind of read through the brief descriptions on 24. And then if you get an idea about like 2 or 3 of them where you're like, this could be cool based on what I'm thinking, then go to the more detailed ones and dig in a little further if you want to. And that even has like the regional maps and stuff too, so you can get down and see all the different like keeps and cities and towns and stuff like that.
All right, Rainey, I hate to harsh your mellow, but you're kind of crackly. Your
no.
your
Yeah,
feed is a little
you're
crackly.
clipping a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
It might be everything I've written, but let me check some stuff.
If you could just get your producer on that, that would be great.
Yeah, exactly. Dean.
I'm going to read through all the
Dean?
cultural stereotypes. The cultural stereotypes. I think that's where I'm going to start.
Oh. Yeah, Santi,
Yeah.
do you know what do you have a thing do you have a character in mind or homeland in mind?
I do.
Oh.
I gonna be Sartarian, because they're they're like the most common, I think, place to be from. I guess the most populous, but I am from the Styx, a small
Ooh.
tribe known as the Cincina outside of Johnstown.
All right.
They're often called
Got his tribe and everything.
I know. I'm not surprised.
What are you, rich?
You rich.
Take these to my cobbler immediately. You have a cobbler? Do you not? Yeah. The Cincina tribe is often called the Wolf Slayers because of their feud with the Telmori werewolves.
Oh, gotta bring the wolves in.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
the Telmori, yeah.
Is it any better or is it still crickly?
No, it
Still
sounds a bit better.
still
Little
crackly. Okay, so David, do you have an idea of what you are thinking of?
I was also probably going to end up on Sartar. I haven't gone so far as clans or tribes.
Oh my god.
Well, it's true. But well, that's just how it is. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. I think Sartar. Maybe because you're thinking of as Rolia, right?
I'm definitely from Azrolia. Yeah.
I might go with this Rolia.
Really?
I think I'm leaning toward Israelia as well.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
Ooh, damn. All right.
Well, then maybe I should do Sartar.
All right. Is it any better now or is it still poopy?
It's better.
I'd say it's
Yeah.
95% better.
Yeah.
Mm.
I heard the slightest little crackle, but otherwise
Uh-huh.
it was fine.
Little tiny crackle, but
Yeah.
keep talking, Rainy.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
see. Let's hear
Talk
your
to
voice.
us.
Yeah.
Tell
I'm
us about
closing
Keep
some
talking.
stuff just to see if it's on my computer, and that's the issue.
way better, like
Way better.
95%. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 5% crackling.
5% crackle.
Uh-huh.
I mean, this is the way
At
of
most.
internet recording.
Yes.
This is the way.
Yes. But I also feel like there was so much that I was like, ooh.
Yeah. No, thank you for letting me know, because obviously I can't hear it. So
Right.
but let's see. If it gets bad again, holler at me.
We will.
Hopefully. Is the background? Let me double check. I might have to reshare that.
Yeah, it's not playing.
There we go.
You're pretty much totally clear at this point. So.
All right, cool.
Oh, ooh.
Oh, I'm
Yay.
whisked away. I've been whisked.
I've been whisked.
All right.
Congratulations, you whisked yourself.
You whisked yourself.
All right.
Okay, so I'm all about Isrolia. We have 2
Yeah.
Sartar folks, possibly, and then
Cool.
maybe another Isrolia.
It's really for me.
All right.
Really?
So
Oh, for sure. Okay.
couple of
All right.
sexy
I'll go Sartar.
cosmopolitan folks, a couple of bumpkins. That's fine.
Wait, Santi, would it fuck it up too much if I was Telmori then?
No, because my feud is
You could
with
be the original Odd
werewolves.
Couple. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, not with anyone from there. In fact, we would probably be allies, you know, because the werewolves are these chaos touched, corrupted creatures that, you know, would probably be terrorizing your village and all that kind of stuff, or, you know, whatever. So my tribe is specifically like, you know, we hunt them down, we fuck with them, we go and, you know, that's our shit. So if anything, we'd be allies and not in like a feud. So if that helps.
Yeah, that does
And
help. Thank you.
I need to have the asterisk on everything I say in this game of like, I think, you know, based on like 30-second degree from like Rainey told me about this game university. Like that's all I'm basing it on. So I could be very mistaken.
I like this
Sure.
though. This is giving me something to do here, because they are tainted by chaos. And if I'm a Stormbolt cultist, I'm all about hunting chaos. So I could be like this werewolf hunter, basically. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
apologizing?
I'm sorry.
I know we got a lot of werewolf fans in the group. So
I'm a big werewolf guy. Wolf person,
Yeah.
you know.
Giant
you don't have like a
fan,
wolf shirt.
but
This
is a different
I'm wearing
game.
my 3 wolf shirt. I'm just kidding.
Are you wearing 3 different wolf t-shirts?
Yeah.
Layers, just
I couldn't afford the 3 wolf moon, so I got 3 wolf
just
shirts.
put on 3 different.
Wear them all at the same time.
Just picturing them like strategically cut out to show each one somehow. I don't know, on the chest. All right.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
totally gonna do that.
All right. So you guys are going to be these Sartar badasses, apparently.
Yeah, sitting around flexing.
Yeah. We just flex. ABF, always be flexing.
Always be flexing. That's right. That's right.
Just look like you're flexing. like you're just dead asleep, but you look like you're like
Yeah. That's
You're
Always in a
snoring.
clench.
yeah.
because
It's called anxiety. It's my
Oh my God.
wood.
That's
You
why
know
I'm so
the-
swole. Yeah.
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 You know where the weight room is? Or...
In your mind. The weight room is in your mind.
Ooh.
Always in the weight room.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my
How
God.
many reps? Just one more.
Always.
So, okay, so you guys are doing that. So, Kenny, you are going to do Isrolia?
I'm gonna be an Isrolia lady.
Oh, so am I. Okay, what do you what do you do?
twinsies.
I also
know.
am female, so that's awesome.
Oh, David! Wow,
Ooh.
everyone's on so similar wavelengths.
Are we gonna be
Damn.
like?
Oh, is this an all lady
Xena?
power?
It's Xena.
activity?
It's Xena the warrior princess.
Well,
right.
apparently I'm the Bruce Campbell character.
Yeah.
That's a great person to be, though.
Yeah.
You can have the chin. What kills? It's
That's
okay.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Finally,
right.
David and I can have our love arc that we've been searching for desperately.
Damn right.
Hey,
I mean, I think that's apparent in every game so far.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
I
you're
was
just
gonna
playing
say
it
that.
out this time. It's all right.
But he's going to
Okay.
get pregnant by the end of this
Oh,
campaign.
yeah.
oh my god,
Yes.
Mari. All right, so I want to play a thief from Isrolia. I also wanted to
Ooh.
play a female character. So, Kenny, where were you going with your character?
As far as occupation goes,
Yeah, occupation. Sorry,
I kind
And
of
or
have.
cult.
cult. Yeah.
I have no idea about a cult.
Okay.
I don't touch the things.
Okay.
I had a hierarchy of occupations that I was interested in, but I'm also
Okay.
not opposed to rolling randomly because I see there's a table.
Yes.
Is there a benefit for rolling randomly? Is it like, oh, do you earn XP through character creation in this system?
No, you just get stuff for some of the random things that can happen, but you're just making choices that give you stuff because everything has usually stuff like skills or passions or whatever that come along with it.
Okay.
That's usually the side effect of making a decision. But if you go rando, you have the joy of playing what the dice give you.
Oh, sheesh, y'all. I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh.
Ooh.
You can see it. It's in the digital thingy in Demiplane. Not sponsored.
Yes, it's there. Okay, we've confirmed.
Not sponsored.
That puts me as a warrior.
I think we got a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah. Initially, my hierarchy was like healer and then
Hmm.
entertainer and then question mark.
An
I like-
entertainer and a thief would go well together.
I like the healer though. I like that energy.
Yeah, I didn't know if anybody. I kind of wanted to be like, I don't know. I don't want to be like, I'm a doctor, damn it, or anything like that. But I don't. I obviously I have no idea. I don't know
You
what
can
I'm doing, guys.
also, just saying, you
My
can
first day.
wait and see what your family history is
Yes.
and see if that
Ah.
inspires you to like follow in their footsteps or go a different
Absolutely.
direction.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you'll know a lot about what your predecessors, your ancestors have done before you get into
Mhm.
the meat of your character.
Absolutely
Okay.
will.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, I'm all about being a thief. I've never played one, so this will be interesting.
I think a lot of those skills can serve you well in some of the adventures in this little mini campaign. So I think that's a good
Okay.
call. Yeah.
Okay.
You won't feel unuseful. I will say that.
That I'm just if it's anything remotely better than what we got out of, I'm for it. So yeah, thief from Isrolia.
You should be a net runner, but referring to like being on a pirate ship and like
Literally
running
nets.
across ropes and stuff. Yeah. Be like, I'm a net runner. I can only do my abilities if I'm on a net.
Oh my god. I bet I
Jack
got a
into the
hell of
net.
a lot more net than there, so yeah.
No, because then I can tell you you're not within like 6 meters of a net, and
And therefore I fall into the sea. Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
It's all good.
Yes, it is. So let's move into, let me see here. Was there anything else we need to do?
No, I mean, you guys are talking ahead a little bit, which I think is good. If you have an idea of an occupation that's interesting to you, page, I think it's 63, has kind of the rundowns on occupations and what kind of skills are associated with them and everything, if that's something that helps you decide. But if you want to wait on it, we can talk a little bit about passions and things like that. But totally, we're just kind of going in whatever order drives us. So until we get to family history, and then we're just stuck there for like at least an hour. So,
For a while.
I'm interested in that, and I
Okay.
think I'm gonna hold up. I have ideas on stuff that I want to do as far as occupations, but I'm gonna wait to see,
Yeah.
what's going on.
So something to keep in mind especially as we get into family history, your character will have 3 starting passions that you can pick that start at 60%. And I was telling Santiago about these, how it's perfectly fair to wait until after you do family history to make sure it kind of lines up if you want to follow those lines. But if you have some ideas too, where you're like, you know, you're going to be hardcore about your deities, so you want to go devotion, your cult deity, cool, do it up, whatever. But you will have 3 of those that you get to select outside of the things that can be randomly applied to you. Okay. But yes. All right, so family history then. It seems like that's where we want to be. Mm-hmm. So first step, you are going to pick the family member that we're following first. So it's your grandparent, but you get to decide if it's like your male or female grandparent or whatever along that spectrum. You can decide if it's on your mom's side or dad's side or whatever it is. But you're gonna pick who you're following for this first part. And then you'll want to figure out what their occupation is. And you can rando roll your grandparents' occupation from the table that's on page 28. Or you can decide, like if you know, yeah, my grandparent was important to me because they were also a thief, that you can do that too. Totally up to you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go off camera because I'm gonna have to do a lot of typing. So yeah. But I have my eye on all of you. So just
you don't want us to see your typing face? It's too intense. Okay.
It's way too frantic. I have to like move my whole setup here. It's kind of wild. So I'm just
No, you're good.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
And this is more about the world of Glorantha than the rules. Are gender roles a thing?
So as written, RuneQuest as written, especially if you're in certain regions and certain clans, gender roles can be extraordinarily important. But also RuneQuest as written, they recognize that, you know, you can be someone that is apparently female in a male role in your society and things like that too. So we have a lot of flex there. And as far as I'm concerned, I like keeping that as flexy as possible, but I am open to everyone's ideas on that.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, like, because I just rolled for a grandparent, their occupation. I'm going to try to roll everything as randomly as possible.
That's how I go, so I appreciate this.
That's how I like to do it. But I rolled a 6, which is farmer. So one of my grandparents was a farmer asterisk. So I don't know if that would be my grandfather or would be my grandmother. I initially was like, oh, I'll probably just make it my grandma and kind of follow this like matriarchal line and see where that throws me.
Why not?
Yeah. I like that. No, usually I do roll random for this character creation, like for RuneQuest stuff, but this time I haven't had the best luck. So I'm just gonna, I have a more specific idea in mind. So yeah. So I'm gonna go with my grandmother as well. I have to look into the clans and stuff here too.
Yeah, and take your time because...
Or cults, really.
This will be chill. And also, like I always tell my other groups, that's what editing's for. I can make it sound like you made decisions so fast, just with editing.
Yeah. Okay. So, what are you guys doing? David, what are you doing right now?
I'll go with grandfather.
Okay.
That's for me. I have a things are coming together here. I'm just doing a little bit of background research while we're talking.
Okay.
But I think I know where I'm going. So I might choose a couple of the events rather than random roll.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing too. You can be as rando or not as you want. That's all fine. You all have access to the book because we are all responsible adults who have the book.
Yay!
And therefore, if there's something you see as we're going through events where you're like, yes, let's just do that, you can do that because it's your character and we're making it what you want it to be.
Yes.
All right. So we're rolling. We're doing this.
Yeah.
All right. Does everyone have their grandparent decided upon? Have an idea which one you're going with? I see nods. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Now we go through the thing. So the thing I like about this, much like I like it about Pendragon, is especially if you are new to Glorantha, helps you learn a lot about what's been going on for the last years. So, you know, it all starts the same time for everybody. So the year was 1561 when your grandparent was born,
Mm-hmm.
because that's exciting. But in 1582, everyone is affected by King Tarkalor and his wife, the Feathered Horse Queen, going to war with the Lunar Empire to aid the old Tarshites. They're aided by Praxian and Esrolian mercenaries and volunteers. The Red Emperor personally led the Lunar Army, and when the armies met at the Battle of Grizzly Peak, the Lunar armies swept the field with their vastly superior magicians. Both King Tarkalor and his queen were killed. Of special note, your parents were also born this year.
Okay.
Good to know.
Nice.
That is good.
All right, so there is the year 1582 events. Everyone gets to do this one because everyone's affected. So you get to roll a d20. That's if you're doing the rando bits.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we're looking at page 30 right now. But if you're from Esrolia or Prax, and two of you are from Esrolia, so there you go. You're supposed to do -5 to your d20 roll to make it, you're just doing your own thing. But if you look at it, the results are you basically have a chance of either your grandparent not being at the battle or yes being at the battle, and then things will happen from there. So you may roll to see what happens, or you can choose if you know you want them to be involved or not. That's okay too.
Okay. Yeah, mine is 11.
All right. So present.
Okay.
Mine is 10, so my grandparents were not involved
Not
at the battle.
present. Yeah.
Rolled an 18. So my
Okay.
maternal grandmother was very much there.
Very much so.
I mean, not.
Same here. I got a 20.
Ooh. Woohoo. All right. So for those of you who had grandparents that were present, this is tables within tables, you get to roll d20. But if they are a noble or a priest, it's +5.
My maternal
grandfather, by the way,
was a
was
priest. Oh, sorry.
Mine was an assistant shaman, so very
Wait,
interesting.
where's the table for that? What page is that on?
I believe it's
Occupation.
28.
28? Okay,
28.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there
All
we
right,
go.
I got a 10. Survived.
Ooh.
Sartarite continued to the Battle of Aldachur.
So they made it and then went on to the next battle. They're like, yeah, fighting. That's very Sartar of them.
Yes.
Oh, so
Classic.
my grandmother was a bandit. So
Oh, that's perfect.
yeah, I love it.
That's
So,
awesome.
Okay, so
That'll
let's see.
work.
Rolling to see if she was present at this battle. So rolled a 19.
Ooh. So 19. You are not Lunar Tarshite, so cool.
Where's that +1 coming from? I'm just noticing. Like all of your D20 rolls have a +1 on them.
Oh, it's user error.
Very
Don't
weird.
worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, never
it could
mind.
be the difference between life and death.
Okay, so then subtract 7 for mine. So it was a 10 for my let's
For
see.
your battle one.
Yeah,
Your initial
Okay.
roll.
yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we roll for each grandparent?
So you're following one of your grandparents. That's like the important one for you. This
Okay,
is the one.
favored grandparent.
Their story is one that affects you, right? So that's why certain things that happen in their history are going to impact things about your character.
Okay, cool.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that you liked them, but it could be that they are a storied member of your family. That's okay too.
My favorite grandparent is my grandmother, and she was a farmer.
and did not go to the battle.
She's not a
Just-
fighter.
Yeah. She's like, nah, I've got tomatoes over here. I think they're
Right.
tomatoes. I haven't tasted
Could
them
be.
yet.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with bandit, even though my rolls were obviously wrong. So I'm sticking with a bandit for the grandmother. And yeah, so that was an 18. And then for the first battle, it was 15, I guess.
Okay. So for a 15, diddle-a-doo. Ooh. So 15 for your actual battle one?
No.
Or for going
sorry.
to the battle?
Going to the battle.
Okay.
The going to the battle was 20.
Ooh. Okay.
Or wait, I'm so sorry. I'm getting confused. This is
Nope, you're good.
So 15 is like, was I present or not?
Okay.
And then 20 is if I was there.
Okay.
What happened?
Cool.
Okay.
So you were
thanks.
present based on the
Mhm.
first roll, and then based on the second roll, it does say your grandparent died with great glory defending the king and queen.
A bandit. Interesting. Okay.
And you gain honor passion and loyalty Sartar or loyalty feathered horse queen.
Oh, loyalty Sartar.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you.
Or feather
You
horse.
have a famous ancestor, and you will
I
get a
do.
5% bonus to your orate skill and plus 1d3% reputation.
What? Okay. I need to write this down now. All right. Famous ancestor. And what was the roll for the reputation?
1d3.
1d3. And then so I have an honor passion and then a loyalty to Sartar or the feather horse queen.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. And the 5% bonus to your orate skill.
Yes, 5%
Yep.
bonus. Thank you. All right. What do you guys got?
I got to
Nothing.
roll on the Battle of Aldature.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do that.
So my grandma was busy that year. She popped out a kid and then she went and fought valiantly as a bandit for the feathered horse queen
And then
Yeah.
died.
and then died gloriously in
Yeah.
battle. That was a really intense year for her, I would say.
Right.
To me, that's almost like a wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying?
But then she decided to do the right thing.
That's
Mhm.
right.
Interesting.
All right. My grandparent witnessed the Aldachuri acclaimed Tarkalor's son, Terrasserin, as Prince of Aldature, gained loyalty Sartar.
Same with my
Oh.
grandparent.
What year was that?
That was
So this is
1582.
all in the same year, 1582.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, geez.
My
what
grandma
year?
and your grandma were sitting by the fire and watching the Aldachuri acclaimed Tarkalor's son Terrasserin as Prince of Aldachur.
There are some fun names in this.
I
Yeah.
can't wait.
Don't worry.
Yep.
So
And-
if my
Yeah.
if my parent was not at the battle, I just skip this whole section.
This year, and then
This
we'll go
year.
to the next event. And your grandparent's still alive, so they have a chance of doing more stuff.
That's
But
right.
then, like, poor Des has to wait until parents get into the mix and all that
Yep.
fun stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. we were
Bonuses
just
are worth
chilling.
it. Yeah, we
Sure.
were.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. So in the year 1597, Azrolia, the Grayslands, Lunartar, Sartar, so all of you that are here
Yay.
Yay!
are involved in this one. Lunar assassins killed members of the Sartar
What?
royal house in the Holy Country, and many
Rude.
got entangled in the cycles of murder and vengeance.
That is rude.
Yeah, super rude, first of all.
Racist.
But let's see how these events affected you. Let's see, we're doing a D20 roll. If your grandparent is alive and is a noble or priest, you get a +5 to the roll to determine what event they may have been involved in.
Normal year. We're just chilling.
Yeah, we're hanging out. That's all
Farmer
good.
be farming, you know?
Yeah.
Just chill, honestly.
Yeah, and make the food to feed the soldiers.
Our neighbors, honestly, they talked a lot of trash because they were like, what are these guys even doing? Farming onions all the time.
You need food though. The troops need food, man.
Exactly. We're like, hey, leave us alone. The Sackville Bagginses are important family members.
Oh no. Alright, so what's going on?
I'm so close to dying of other causes.
Yeah? What did you get?
I rolled a 4 + 5 because she's a priest.
Oh,
You had a
So-
normal year instead of dying.
Right.
yay.
know, like-
Good, normal years.
I mean,
Yeah, something
if I-
like really
Concept.
close happened. There was like a really like whiff like that happened.
Mhm.
Like, whoa,
I
almost
keep-
died just now.
if I keep rolling the way I do, I'm just going to play my grandma. Finally get her into some trouble.
All right. Anyone else get anything interesting on this one or choose anything interesting on this one if you decided not to roll and just went with it?
Nothing this year.
No, normal year. And then, of
Yeah.
course, Des had a mournful year, but
Yeah, it was very
normal.
sad. It's a
All right.
sad parents. Sad baby. Sorry.
So I'm sure, many in the area heard the news of what was going on. None of you were personally involved in your history. That's okay. All right. The year was 1602. The Lunar Army invaded the kingdom of Sartar again with great success, although at high cost, seizing the supposedly impregnable capital city by force and extinguishing the flame of Sartar that united the legendary kingdom. All right, so if you are from Sartar, on this D20, you get +10.
Ooh. Go, Sartars.
Yeah. roll a d20 with +10. If you roll 11 through 20,
Yeah.
you're doing the Bold Home campaign.
They're like,
so
basically, you
yeah.
have no choice.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just got
your choice is
invaded.
fish.
Dang it. Yeah.
But I want to have a normal year and mind my own business. Sorry.
Sorry, you can't when you are invaded. You don't get a choice.
No, normal
It's mostly
year.
just there to see if Kenny's grandma shows up.
She did.
Did she?
Yeah, she finally got all them potato skins she's been keeping and made her some armor.
Nice.
The hell.
So
Potato
everyone is
armor.
involved in the Bold Home campaign. So again, this is a D20 roll. Sartorites, you get +5. And also priests, Santiago, get an additional +5. So you get +10.
Oh my
to your
God.
roll.
That's not good. That's
Yeah.
really not good.
Yeah. it's-
Usually
Yeah.
rolling high in these means they die. Just-
This
yeah.
well, let's see if I can roll a 10+ and die with great glory at least.
Yeah, you got a
'Cause
goal.
I only survive on a 3 or less.
Mhm.
So let's see what happens. Damn it. I rolled a 4, so I just get the basic death.
Yeah, but you gain the honor passion for your character.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you
Honor.
weren't devoured by the Crimson Bat, which
Right.
is also good.
That's a
So
big
at least
plus.
your grandparent has an ancestor spirit that can help you out now because they
Yeah.
There you
weren't
go.
eaten.
Your
Mhm.
grandparent's soul no longer exists.
Yeah.
You're right. I dodged that bat-shaped bullet. I mean, it's a quote unquote bat.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
Must be nice.
Oh my God.
My grandma got
did you
eaten.
Oh, you got that?
19.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Hmm.
So yes,
Yeah.
the soul
Oh,
of your
no.
farmer grandmother in her potato skin armor no longer exists.
we like the annihilationism of it.
But obviously, this impacted you in a major way. So you get hate chaos at 70%, or hate lunar empire at 70%. Or if you already picked those as part of your passions, you can add 20% to one of those passions.
I'm going to take hate chaos.
Oh, it's a good one.
Choice.
Yeah.
I endorse.
I think that goes well in this group too. So I think it's good.
Mm-hmm.
The strong anti-chaos bias going on.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
I have a love-hate thing going on with chaos.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Depends on the setting.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Then there were some interim years, very excitingly named 1603 to 1604. As Rolia and Sartar all get to participate if you have living grandparents. Does anyone have anyone left?
No,
I do.
David
Okay,
does.
so we're playing the David game now.
Yeah.
All right. So after the Bold Home campaign, the Lunar Empire dominated Dragon Pass. Old rivalries reignited. Lunar authorities encouraged tribes to kill each other off because when you take over, you encourage them to do all your dirty work for you by just hating each other.
Mm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
1604, the year of your adventurer's birth, unless you've chosen to be older or younger. All right. So for this one, you are from Sartar, so it's a D20 plus 5, and you roll once for this period of time.
That would be a 23.
Holy moly,
20.
killed by a
Oh.
rival tribe.
Oh, this is. Oh, actually, wait a minute. Can I bump it? Can I choose killed by Telmori?
Yeah, that would make way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should.
Because actually, okay. So here's the thing. This is where I am flexing my Glorantha lore.
Yeah.
So the Cincina, is that right?
Yeah.
Cincina.
Yes.
So they actually had a couple of what do you call them? Tribes? No, clans. No, tribes. Sorry. So they had a couple of tribes that were actually wiped out by the Telmori around this time.
Okay.
It says yeah. So it says in 1605, Cathal Rand I'm referencing another book here. In 1605, Cathal Randa's warband slaughtered a group of Telmori old men, women, and children in the Black Moon Massacre. In revenge, during the winter of 1606, the Telmori fell upon the Maboder villages. They killed every man, woman, and child they could find. Finally, they reached Stonegate. The entire Maboder leadership was wiped out. So I'm thinking, since this happened in 0304, maybe this was a killing that then kicked off the Black Moon Massacre that then led to the Maboder slaughter. What do you think?
Nice.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
It has a real like World War I kind of feel, you know what I mean? Like this one tiny little thing, and then all these series of unlikely events led to this giant powder keg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And it just strengthens y'all's hate of these dirty werewolves.
Yeah.
It's
All right, so that gives me
glorious.
my hate Telmori passion.
Yep. It's pretty awesome.
All right.
All right. Which means we are done with grandparents. So none of these other events apply to you. But just so you know, there are many things that happen with the Lunar Army trying to push further in to this region and all sorts of fun stuff. But then your parents come of age and it's their turn to affect you with their traumas.
God.
But yeah, no one got to retire their grandparent in peace. Everyone died.
Yeah.
So good job, everyone. So same thing, you'll get to pick your parent that you're going to be following and their occupation.
Okay.
And again, that
Okay.
occupation table is on page 28 if you want to
Yes,
rando
thank
it. But otherwise, if you have an idea, go for it.
Falling
Whoa.
my- oh, I'm following my mother, who was a philosopher.
Ooh.
From farmer to philosopher.
Interesting.
Trying to come to terms with the decisions that your grandma made to leave the potato patch.
For real.
Yeah.
We were like,
And
we're not
get eaten
farming
by the
anymore.
bat.
Yeah. See what happens when you're a farmer?
Everyone was like, why don't you till the fields and grow some crops? And your mother was like, why?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, got a philosopher here, do we?
Yeah, right.
Look at you, you're so smart. Go to the university at whatever nearby city.
Nice. So my mother was a healer. So
See what I got here. I've got another idea. I'm just gonna throw this dice out here. A scribe. Interesting.
That's cool.
My grandfather.
Actually, I think
was
I'm
a scribe.
gonna choose on this one.
Yeah.
I am gonna go with mother. Mother, the Rangoon mother.
Mother the Rangoon.
But I'm gonna
Why'd you
give
bring
her
up the
bandit.
Rangoon? Damn it.
Oh man, I know. Sorry,
Oh, it
everybody.
sounds so good.
I know.
I know. I'm gonna go with bandit because she's like a refugee, right?
Oh yeah.
The tribe was annihilated, and in fact, she was a member of an underground society
What?
called the Daughters of Mabode.
Ooh.
Okay.
hmm The Daughters of Mabode have never accepted that the fate of their people is to be lunar slaves and work to recover that which was lost.
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I know.
I know.
Freaking out the lore there. I feel like my mother was a healer in response to it was a helpful. I mean, it sounds like they were just in this like constant battle. Like it's been constant battles. So I think seeing her mother die gloriously, she's like, well, what if I could have saved her what if I could have healed like her wounds or whatever, she wouldn't have died. So I think
Yeah.
it's that kind of a thing. So that's why my mom is a healer.
I like that.
But I got the bandit genes. It skips a generation.
All right. Santi, what about your parent?
Oh, my mother was a priest, like her mother before her.
Really?
All right. Well, this will be the first example of an event where technically you can choose not to participate in it because Niall, I know you're from that place.
Okay.
Because it's Lunar Tarsh and Prax. But if you want to, you can. The Lunar Empire invaded Prax, which is why it's relevant. The army hopped from oasis to oasis, but was raided and harried until it accepted peace before being allowed to enter the pass. Despite propaganda, this was a nomad victory. Does anyone want to get into the realm of the crazy people riding animals?
Yes.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
Your mom's like, I will prove myself as a healer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you're from Azrolia, you do get a -5 to your D20 roll,
Yay.
but you can see. What's up? What's up?
Okay.
Stop.
1.
It was a normal year.
Yeah. Womp
Your
womp.
mom went out there, probably did some stuff, but it wasn't anything crazy.
Very chill. Okay.
Normal
Right.
year for my mom too.
Hmm.
I thought, what the hell? I'll go along and see what happens.
Yeah.
My mom
It's
was
near
at
enough.
uni.
doing those philosophy prereqs. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Taking public speaking, aka orate. It's all good.
18+5 to Ori.
All right. There's more of the same next year. Well, next year's 1610. The Lunar Army, this time better prepared and equipped, marches into Prax once again and defeats the nomads in battle, occupies the surrendering city of Pavis. Jaril, the Razoress, the lunar demiguppus, came to Tarsh and liberated King. Oh no, come on.
Go.
Moirades. Sure. To
You got
transcend
it.
his mortal coil.
Got it.
Yay!
You did great. Mhm.
Although she later gave birth to his son, the king's eldest son, Ferendros, became king of Tarsh. All right. So, for folks who would like to participate, we did determine that Duz's mom is out here. If she's still out here, then I would say so. But you do get a -10 for being from Esrolia.
That's fine. Look, I think she's like doing all these things just to like, I don't know, have an adventure in her life. Okay, to 7.
Okay. 7. That's a normal year.
Oh my god. Womp womp.
So if you roll a 0, are you just like, that's like the lowest tier or whatever?
Well, I feel like rolling a 0 is like when you roll over 20, which is like you just take the 1 through whatever result.
Right.
Gotcha. Right, yeah. So a normal year. If lunar Tarshite, do whatever. I am not lunar Tarshite, so.
My extremely mild dyslexia kicks in every time I see Tarsh, so I keep reading it as lunar trash.
Well, which is what you probably call them, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say shart. And I was like, no, lunar shart, no less.
Ladies know what the lunar shart is. Just saying. That's not just it's so good.
All right.
All right. Cool. Well, a lot of people having normal years up in this business.
Yay, normal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 1613. Here we open it back up. Sartar, you're back in the running here.
Okay.
Outraged by the lunar presence and urged on by social unrest, the Sartarites rebelled in strength and temporarily expelled the lunar army. The Lunars regrouped and under the leadership of General Foswar Widered, soundly defeated the rebels. The Red Emperor appointed Foswar the general governor of Dragon Pass. So if you're from Esrolia and you're getting up in this business, you're at a -10 to your D20 roll. If you are from Sartar, +5 to your D20 roll.
8.
All right.
Ocho is a normal year.
God damn it.
Your mom's trying so hard to get into trouble.
I know. She's just like, why is this happening? Oh, it's the opposite of getting dumped on by a chamber pot repeatedly.
Ooh, 20.
Ooh, 20. Fought in Starborough's rebellion.
That makes sense since she's
That's
like
cool.
going all Wolverine and shit.
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
into this, so.
Totally makes sense.
Love it.
Especially this whole anti-lunar business.
That's right. Down with the Lunars.
No.
Wait, what?
This is like, oh, I didn't tell you, my cult.
Womp womp.
Okay.
All right, Santi, what did you end up with? I didn't see your roll.
16 + 5. Oh, I'm rolling.
Oh yeah, you're in it. You're in
I'm
it.
doing
to
it
win
old school.
Okay.
I got a 16 + 5. So I well, my
Also
mom
in
was-
the rebellion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. For the first roll, I got a 9 + 5. So I fought in the rebellion.
Yes.
Sorry. And then I was checking out what happened in the rebellion.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. So you said you got
That's
yeah.
I was outlawed by Lunars for 1d6 years, gained 8 Lunar Empire.
Nice.
Yeah.
Outlawed tunes. And then I got a 12 + 5, 17. Killed by lunar magic.
Ooh.
Gained hate Lunar Empire.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I like how all your passions are hates.
Yeah.
Pretty
You're a
much.
very hateful
Yeah.
person, man.
I am, man. Keeps me warm.
Got my
right.
grandma,
Man.
the got my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Killed by lunar magic. I also went ahead and rolled my aunts and uncles, which if
Oh,
people
yeah.
are feeling ambitious is on
Yeah.
page 33.
I was gonna do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know what other family you have.
Mhm.
It's important. And you can figure out for every single one of them if they're dead or not. And
Right.
what happens to them.
Yeah.
So many dice.
And I have one living aunt, my maternal aunt. This would have been my mother's sister. And I would like to submit to the game master another request
Yes.
that she be a named character named Anastara the Red.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
It says she's the leader of the Daughters of Mabode. And it says Anastara can barely sleep at nights for guilt. She was one of the leaders of the Black Moon Massacre, which prompted Telmori rage.
Oh. Yes, I like it.
Excellent.
So here we are. Oh, Santi, how many years was your mother outlawed? I like how the idea that it's just like, it's illegal to be you. I don't know what that means.
Dude, we need to bring that back. We need to bring that back. We need to be people.
Cancel
whose legal
culture.
status needs to be suspended. That's right.
Yeah. So this next event was only 2 years later, which would mean that you're still outlawed. But do what you want.
Yeah, you're doing it while you're outlawed.
Well, I mean, technically you were outlawed from the area where the Lunars are. So maybe you did this one because this is out in Grayslands area. So Grayslands, Lunar Tarshal Charge are involved in this one. A squabble between the Grayslanders and the Lunars broke into open war. The former, aided by King Ironhoof and his beastmen, managed to evade and frustrate two massive invasion forces. So if you would like to participate, Sartar and Ezrelia both have a -5 to their D20 roll. But, up to you.
+5?
-5.
-5 as usual. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just checking.
Ezrelia they don't do stuff. They hang out in their cities.
I know. No, we're super chill.
Yeah.
I got
Hang
a
out
3.
getting high.
I got a 3.
A normal year.
Yay, normal. I just have to embrace the normalcy and just deal with it. Right.
Maybe this is why your mother never understood your internal chaos. She's
Probably.
like, just have a normal year for once.
Yeah, just be normal.
God.
All right.
All right. Anyone else have anything interesting?
My mother. Oh, you're dead?
I'm dead.
Well, you're not dead, but
David, no.
Yeah, my character died. It's very, very loose traveler.
Yeah.
Oh no. Did you die of other causes?
Ooh.
No, I was killed by lunar magic.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're already
that's
dead. Yeah. You died already.
So,
Yeah, okay.
all right. So this roll for the Ezreal, this is year 1616, right? Just to keep track.
I was seeing if anyone else had done anything in 1615, but we can move on to 1616 if we're good with that one.
Yeah, I'm not. I haven't done any of that.
Okay. All right. So in the year 1616, Ezrelia is now finally involved in something directly. A large army from the Holy Country was ambushed and slaughtered by the Datali barbarians. Rude. I'm sorry, barbarians did this to you. At the same time, Harik the Berserk and his wolf pirates destroyed the Holy Country Navy. The god king Belentar disappeared, and the Tournament of the Masters of Luck and Death failed to produce a replacement. In Prax, a former slave of the Bison people founded the White Bull Society. Many Praxians of all tribes flocked to join it. Sartar people, if you are doing this one, that would just be Santi, but he ran away, so I'm ignoring him for now. Ezrelia people, +10 to your D20 roll, because you're in this shit.
Yeah, apparently.
So my mother fought the Wolf Pirates Navy and survived.
Oh, that's so cool.
Damn.
That's rad. The philosopher.
I don't get anything for that, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
How did you know? I'm sorry, did I miss something? How
He
did you
rolled
know?
ahead.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay,
It's
so
okay, I
mine's
rolled ahead.
25.
all right. So you also, your parent fought the Wolf Pirates Navy.
Yes.
So you get to roll your
Nice.
next D20 to see if they survived or something horrible happened.
Oh,
Oh, no.
something horrible, I beg of you. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. X. Okay. I'm still learning how to use this thing. So
Yeah, you're good.
Five.
Survived.
Good.
Just
Okay,
a
cool.
normal victory.
She's the most boring person ever. So yes, this makes a lot of sense. I'm just
Yeah.
bristling against the normalcy. I'm just
You-
like, ah,
Rebelled so hard.
yeah.
against this.
Too much normalness.
God, I went to battle a couple times. Everything was fine. Why are you so
Yeah.
weird about everything?
Exactly.
No, you know, wait, was she the wait, which one's the philosopher? Who's got the philosopher?
That's Kenny's.
That's Kenny's.
Oh, okay. Who's your mom?
Mine's
What's
a
your mom
healer.
do?
She's a healer.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Mhm.
It stays kind of
I'm
in
just-
the back of the battle. So
Right.
I'm just picturing the philosopher like the doctor from Master and Commander. It's like, well, I'm just along because the captain likes my company.
Right. Totally.
I collect samples,
Specimens, little.
specimens, yeah.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
I collect spores, mold, and fungus.
and fungus. Yeah.
Nah.
I like that one of the possibilities there is saw Herrick the Berserk and survived. Just seeing
Just
him
saw
is,
him.
like notable.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, oh,
look, he's right there.
Yeah.
Saw Mick Jagger and survived.
Yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
thrusted in your general direction. You lived.
Yep.
All right. In the year 1618, more Ezrolian stuff.
Yeah.
The Salanthi warlord Greymane led a massive army through to Tali and deep into the Holy Country, taking great plunder and avoiding a decisive battle. If you're from Ezrolia, plus 10 to your D20 roll. If anyone else wants to participate, that's a -5.
All right.
That's 5. All right. Well, nice. A queen's 20. All right.
Ooh.
-5.
7.
All right.
Hey, Des, guess
Normal.
what?
Normal.
Normal year.
Wow, my luck is continuing to F with me in this game too.
Oh, but Des, it's a
Yeah.
plus 10.
Oh, 17.
17. That means fought Greymane's great raid.
Ooh.
Ooh. So you get to roll another D20 to see if something horrible happened again.
God. 5.
Survived.
Yeah. Wow.
Ah,
Huh.
Survived. Okay.
survived.
We both survived.
Yeah.
That's cool.
My mother was killed by raiders.
Oh no.
Oh no, Kenny now hates Western barbarians. I think that's me.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's us.
Oh no. All right. The year was 1619. There are only 2 mothers left. I think.
Oh, yay.
This one involves Sartar in particular, but the Lunar Army invaded northern Hendricking lands and took the city of Kars. King Broyan of the Hendrickrings retreated to the fortress temple of Whitewall with his companions. Oh, I know where that is. And withstood every lunar attempt to take the city. The Crimson Bat is sent to Dragon Pass to strike fear into any who would rebel against the Emperor. Oh no.
Ooh.
All right. So if you're from Sartar, Santiago, plus 5. Des, if you want to send your mom in, it's a -10.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
My God.
Right. Go. Plus 5.
2.
Normal year.
No.
Dude, your best possible outcome was a 20, which would have been died of other causes. So
Yeah,
you're
it would have
fine.
been something.
Yeah.
But
like
no.
something completely banal, you know,
Mhm.
like
Boring mother
Yeah.
continues.
Yep.
No
There were
wonder you
lines.
followed your grandma's footsteps. Like,
Endless lines of people being chucked into the maw of the Crimson Bat, and all this
Oh,
chaos
no.
is happening and stuff like that. And there's like Dez's mom just like with a Slurpee.
I think it's like a llama milk
Yeah.
Slurpee of some type. Llama
Llama
milk smooth
boba
smoothie.
tea.
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
milk boba. All right,
Guys, are any
Santiago.
good jokes lately. Get a 19 plus 5, so I fought in the Hendriking campaign.
Yes.
Let's see if I die. First, let me make a note of that.
Yeah, notes.
Right. Let's see what happens. All right, 14 plus 5, 19. Killed in battle, baby.
Ooh.
Oh,
And I
That's
gain
it?
nothing because
Yep.
I'm not lunar tertiate.
yep. Normal sort of death in battle.
Mm.
Yep.
All right. So only the boring mother.
Yay! That's usually the case.
All right. In 1620, the Lunar Army decisively defeated the Malkinwall army in battle and accepted their surrender. The Hendriking King and his companions held out at Whitewall, defeating everything the Lunar Army threw against them, including the Crimson Bat.
Oh,
Since your mother's from Esrolia, it is a -10
yeah.
to the roll
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
keep
we're
you as
doing it.
boring as possible.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah. 10.
Oh, she died,
Oh, how?
but of a random cause of death. So
Ooh,
we
okay,
must
what
go
is-
to page 35.
Okay,
It's a D20 roll.
that's right. Okay.
She
2.
died.
Killed in
boring?
a personal feud with another clan.
Ooh.
Gain hate
Okay.
other
okay.
clan or loyalty own clan.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the thing. So I'm rolling through all of my uncles and aunts right now.
Ooh, okay.
And so basically one of my maternal uncles was killed by an enemy clan or whatever. All my other ones were killed by chaos, monsters, or accidents. That's a whole other conversation.
Just
but-
everyone dying while your
I
mom's
ha-
living her boring life.
She is okay. Like all of her maternal, seriously, all of her like I haven't rolled my aunt yet. Let me just check her really quickly. I have like
Yeah.
one aunt left to check on here. So it's C10. Killed by an elder race. Okay.
Cool.
So everyone
Jesus.
except her was killed by something deadly or weird and scary, and she had the most a clan killed her. So I have some things to figure out here. And so in terms of that, one of her brothers was killed by an opposing clan. So loyalty to clan or hatred of clan increases. I'm not quite sure yet what to do with that. I'm gonna go with loyalty for now. But I don't know what are the opposed. I still have to figure out what clan I'm in. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're
Within your
enrolling it.
Yeah, it's
Esrolian
that's the
homeland.
clan. That's the clan. Okay, sorry.
Well, no,
So-
that's your
no,
homeland.
yeah,
but there's
right.
there's subgroups of Esrolians. So
Okay, I need to look that up really quick.
So if you go to page 103 is where it starts with all the details on the
Yes.
regions.
Okay.
So you can get there. from
Okay,
there.
I'll get into there too. Okay, thanks. Yeah.
Yes. All right, last of the parents have been defeated. So now it is time for the beginnings of your history and things you may or may not have gotten involved with before you all met and started this very adventure. So, in the year 1622, the Red Emperor appointed Tatius the Bright as the lunar governor general of Dragon Pass, replacing Fazor, as we heard about previously. King Broyan reemerged and his Hendriking tribe rose in rebellion, joined by many volunteers. Hordes of scorpion men emerged.
What?
no.
No, I hate those
Serving-
guys.
Serving the chaos demi-goddess called the Queen of Jab, which may also be one of my names. Just
I
saying.
love it.
The Great Winter continued until the Battle of Arakils, when Broyan's rebel army ambushed and defeated the Lunar Army by partially reviving Orlanth and Ernalda. The pro-lunar queen of Esrolia was overthrown, and civil war erupted in that land. So, for you all, remember these are now
Pretty
your
boring
personal
year
events.
overall.
Yeah, just so many things. If you're from Azrolia, you get a +3 to your first D20 roll as yourself. And if you're from Sartar, you get a +5 to your first D20 roll as yourself.
Okay.
I just want to say that the Queen of Jab is like the most kind of like pulp sword and sorcery 1930s title ever. It's
Yeah,
just like something
for
in
real.
every Howard book. Yeah. Ooh, not a nat 20, but a full 20, full on 20.
Wait, so is
Look at me.
Rolia, what bonuses do we have to add?
+3 for
Plus 3, that's what
Azrolians.
okay, I want to
Yeah.
just double check.
I got a 1.
You nearly died.
I got a 7.
Well, with
All
the
right.
+3, it's a 4. So
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
And I also rolled a 1, so
Oh no.
All right.
plus
So
5.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
Great
you and
Winter,
Kenny
year 2.
experienced Great Winter Year 2. So we'll get in. You can roll ahead if you want to. We know that David's character fought in the Battle of the Arak Hills. And then Des also experienced the Great Winter Year 2. So
Oh, good.
since most of you are there,
That's a
let's
fun
do that.
table.
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
that first. So as Rolia, you get a +5 to your D20 roll. Santi,
Okay.
you don't.
As Rolly was like 10 degrees warmer the whole
6.
time.
Ooh, 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just survived.
Mhm.
Or wait.
No,
6.
6
That's
is nearly
nearly
starved
starved
to death.
Mhm.
Well,
You
it
were
wa-
kept alive by something. You can roll a d6, or you can choose if you have an idea of how your character went down with that.
I do not. That's a 5.
5 is being fed by your cult, and you gain loyalty
Oh.
temple 60%.
Oh, cool. All right. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Des, why did you get a +5 on that?
Because I'm
Oh.
awesome.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, you did right. Oh, so you rolled a 1 and you got a 6. Okay, I see what's going on.
Mhm.
I can look with my eyeballs.
Good job. Excellent job, Kenny's eyeballs.
Thank you. I got a 6 + 5, so I just survived.
Better than almost starving to death, I say.
Yeah.
That is
Yep.
true. That's true. I'm coming
Santi,
to
how
the
did your
table
winter go?
with minimal baggage.
That's right.
Straight rolled an 11.
Oh, okay. You also
So-
just survived it. You're like, whatever. It was a little cold. It's fine. Just flexed my way out of it. Meanwhile, David's character over at the Battle of the Arak Hills. +5 since you're a Sardarite. But what happened
Do
to
this
you?
shit. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
See what I can do. A 9 survived and gained battle +5%.
Nice.
Okay.
You are experienced.
I am the one who squints.
Oh my god.
I've seen battle. Let's see here. There it is. Battle +5. Okay. Cool.
All right. The year is 1623. The new Azrolian queen gained a new ally when King Broyan and his ragged army of volunteers arrived and defeated the Graysland Horse Army. The feathered horse queen was killed soon after by her own
What?
bodyguards. The lunar army arrived in Azrolia and besieged Queen Samstina and King Broyan in Notchet. In the north, a gigantic swarm of trolls, trollkin, insects, and darkness creatures crossed Dragon Pass en route to the Castle of Lead. All right, so if you're from Azrolia, +15 to your roll. Everyone else is normal.
Gee, I wonder what you're gonna get.
25.
Ooh, fought in the siege of Notchet.
Wait a minute. This is what we're doing, or is
Yeah,
this
this
what
is your personal history now.
Oh, okay. I have a twin sister who's a warrior, by the way. Just saying.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Cool. Weird.
How do you get siblings?
Just roll them up.
Oh, heck.
Where were they? They were on page...
I have a sibling who.
Well, Kenny, when your
Golly.
parents come back
Sorry.
from war.
God.
Yeah. I feel like I'm so behind because I have like 7 aunts and uncles.
I do too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I have a ton. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 8. I have 8.
But all of yours died.
Yeah, they all died somehow. It's
died?
really weird. Yes, they're all dead.
I've got
It's very weird.
1, 2. I have 3 living aunts or uncles. Only one of which is married.
Mm.
The rest of them are married or dead.
Yeah, mine all died really weird deaths. It was very strange as it was unfolding. Just like killed by chaos,
weird
killed by a monster, killed by an accident, killed by an elder race. Like, okay.
I got my favorite one. I've got killed by a neighboring land. One was unknown cause, just disappeared. I liked that one a lot. Yeah,
Ooh,
so
that's
maybe
good.
maybe they're not dead.
Yeah. I
Maybe
like
maybe Uncle Marty is still walking around out there.
that. Okay,
All right,
so,
so what-
this
so
is
this
what we're
Siblings
doing.
are on the sibling tables on page 42, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, so we're not there yet. That's why I haven't done it. So, all right. So, real quick, we're on Civil War in Esrolia right now.
So
You
yeah,
are.
we're doing 1623 is the year. We're on page 41.
That's right. Okay, cool. And I rolled a 7 plus 15. Plus 5.
No, plus 15 because you're from Esrolia.
Plus 15.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, I was looking at on page 40. There's Civil War in Esrolia underneath the random boons.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
That's when we did that. So that was 1622.
Mhm.
That was 22, yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
also 1622.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
That's
Sorry.
just more events that could have happened that year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
Yeah.
it would be from 1622 if it's like, oh, you fought in the Civil War in Esrolia.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, I'm caught up. All right, so 1622.
Okay.
Tables
so-
within tables.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I can
that's
roll
right.
+5 on my right to see what I got.
Yes, for your
Okay.
outcome of the siege.
That's a 7. So that is survived.
Yeah, you get +5 to your battle
5
skill.
to battle skill. I don't want to
And
be. I'm in
you
another
get more battle.
Oh.
More battle.
Yeah, more battle.
Battle of Pennell Ford in 1624.
Okay.
I need to pick a rival clan to hate. So
Yeah, you do.
if anyone wants to, I don't know, suggest a rival clan. Oh, wow, actual crickets.
Yeah, no one
If anyone wants to,
cares.
anyone
you
wants
can-
to contribute any
I mean,
suggestions.
you've already talked about how you likely have your hate of the Talmori or whatever.
Yeah.
They're a rival
Yeah.
clan.
They sure are.
Okay, yeah, all right.
But you can choose something else too. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
No,
yeah,
that-
yeah.
It has been
Hey.
discussed.
Well,
Well,
I mean, is that like the werewolves and everything? Because I feel like that would already be an existing rivalry, or
Yeah, but this is to have a hate passion towards them. So.
okay. So that's good. And then a werewolf howl. This is perfect. So it's got to be that now.
It's a sign.
Because I rolled a 5 on my civil strife in 1623, but I didn't like it. So I picked 11 to 15 instead. And which is killed a member of a neighboring clan who now seek vengeance, gain hate, rival clan.
oh great, you're hunted by werewolves. Cool, fun.
Yeah. It fit. I wanted to pick that because it fit with my whole hunted like thing.
Yeah,
Hunted by so many
yeah. Your character
Entities.
has issues. That is for sure.
people out to get me.
Uh,
Well, I rolled a natural 19,
Ooh.
and so I get to fight at the siege of Notchit as well, even though I'm not as rolling it.
yeah.
So this is a really good connection, actually. This is probably how I met some of you as Rollians.
Damn. Yeah, because I fought there and lived to go on to fight at the Battle of Pennell Ford.
Me too.
Ooh. So yeah,
Me too.
you're in Desi's
Yeah.
characters both.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
I
the
fought with
house.
great glory alongside King Broyan. Gain honor and devotion deity passions. Add plus 10% to battle skill. Gain plus
What?
1d3 reputation. And take part in the Battle of Pennell Fort.
What?
I think the game is just trying to reward David for getting to play instead of run.
Yeah. Exactly.
You love to see it.
Yep.
So many Pennell
really do.
Fords.
It's Freuda.
Santiago, did you fight in the Battle of Pennell Ford?
I did not.
Oh,
I
Not
was
based
just-
on the events of 1623, but
yeah.
He was
Oh.
off getting into blood feuds.
I hope,
Yeah,
you,
I was-
I hope you do.
Just got caught up in the civil strife.
But
Yeah.
Santi,
Mm.
in this next year, you can roll your D20 to see if you end up fighting at the Battle of Pennell Ford with everybody
Oh.
else.
Because then we
Hey.
could be the Pennell Four.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I invent the 6-shooter.
Nice. And we're done.
I'm also an only child, apparently. 0
Oh.
siblings.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. I already wanted to play the brooding loner, so here we go.
All right.
So this is 1624 where I roll this. right?
Yes.
Okay. To see if I.
Penny's an only
fight
child too.
Mm.
in the
Wiggity
Battle
whack.
of Pennell Ford. All right. Ooh.
Oh, you fought in the Ford?
Oh no, I'm just got that's what I'm
Oh.
trying to see if
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I do. Let's see here. 12. All right. Random.
Ooh, random
boom.
boon on page
Mm.
40.
Wow.
Nice. So it's just the Pennell 3.
Yeah.
Boo.
But what happened in 1624, Rainey? Why don't you tell
I'll
us?
tell you all
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
it
please
while
do.
we see what boon Santi gets. So
Yeah.
in 1624, and this is the most bonkers event I think that I've had to read so far, a new planet called the Boat Planet appeared in the
Yes.
sky.
Yes.
Prophesizing doom and change. You know, the Boat Planet.
Yay.
I love it. Bring it on.
Herrick the Berserk and his wolf pirates arrived in the Holy Country after circumnavigating the world. They allied with Queen Samastina and King Broyan and routed the lunar army at the Battle of Pennell Ford, where the Pennell Three were. During the battle, Orlanth was freed from the underworld, and the constellation called Orlanth's Ring appeared with additional stars and quickly rose to the top of the sky. After the battle, Herrick's companion, Argrath, a Sardarite from New Pavis, traveled with a small group of followers to the border of Sartar and Prax and summoned the Praxian demigod, Jaldan Goldentooth, to recognize him as the White Bull. That winter, Herrick and Broyan sacked the City of Wonders. That same winter, Makti killed the lunar client, King Temertane of Boldhome. Woo!
Okay. I
It's a
like
very
it.
eventful year.
Oh, yeah.
That was
everybody.
a lot that happened.
Oh, right. So, Santi, what boon did you get before we get to the Pennell 3?
I got 13. Your clan came strongly to your aid in a dispute with outsiders. Gain plus 10 loyalty clan or add plus 10 to the existing loyalty. So I didn't know that we were supposed to be tracking like passion values. So I have no
Well.
idea what my actual value is. So,
Well, you'll get to re-listen to the episode and find it.
no, I have them all written down.
yeah.
It just never said gain loyalty
No, that's
this
all-
amount.
Oh, yeah.
It
That's
just
all
said
you
gain
need.
this loyalty.
Yeah.
So
They
that's
start
all I
at
wrote down.
60%.
Yeah.
They start at 60% automatically, and then if you gain multiple iterations, you just add
Yeah.
plus 10 each time you gain.
Yeah.
So that's all.
That's it. That's
No,
it.
you're good. So if you
Unless
have
it
the list
says
up
unless
on
it
your
says
phone.
passion plus 10, because then it would be
Hmm.
70. So.
If it doesn't give an amount, then you're fine as long as you're tracking them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't recall seeing an amount. Let's put it
Okay.
that way.
No,
Maybe it
you're
was
good.
there and I just.
No, you're fine. All right. For the Pennell 3, if you are from Sartar, David, you get plus 10 to your roll. Everyone else just does a straight D20.
All right.
All right. All right. That's a
9.
15 for me.
Ooh, 15, nearly
Oh.
killed in battle. Another
Yes.
plus 5 to battle and a distinctive scar.
I got the
Oh.
So
same
into
thing.
that.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
I rolled a 9. Yeah.
Just got a 9. Survived. Add plus 5% to battle.
Okay. Boo. I have like nothing remarkable so far, which is interesting. So
That means that all of your cool, remarkable stuff is ahead of you.
I know that's why I'm glad I have a character concept, because otherwise
You'd be like, this is not helping me.
like I got
imagine
nothing
my
to work with
character.
here. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so Kenny and David are the Scarbros.
We are. The Scarboroughs.
The Scarboroughs, yeah.
No.
I refuse.
Oh my god.
They both nearly
course.
died, and
of
they got
course-
scars.
Of course, the internet has a random scar generator, so I linked it.
Ooh.
Oh,
I just want it to be like every time you generate it, it's worded like someone excitingly telling you about it. Like, like when you get like cut and it makes one of your eyes go all gray and stuff. It's like that. That's what it needs to be worded as.
I agree. Yeah. Just like really like breathlessly talking about the scar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So you have about a year to heal your scar wounds. And then we get to the current year, 1625.
Mm-hmm.
With the White Bull Society behind him, Argrath liberated Havis from the Lunar Empire and was proclaimed king. Argrath led his Praxian allies to Dragon Pass, but was defeated by lunar sorcery and retreated. At the same time, King Broyan was killed by lunar sorcery. The Lunar Empire gathered thousands of magicians, priests, and nobles to consecrate the new temple of the reaching moon and extend the lunar glow line over all of Dragon Pass. A group of Sardarite hero questers led by Kalar Starbrow, invaded. I like Starbrow better though.
Yeah, me
it's kind of
too.
flexy.
I do. Yeah.
Invaded the lunar ceremony and summoned a true dragon beneath the temple. The dragon devoured the temple and the attendees in minutes. Most of the military and magical might of the Lunar Empire in the provinces was annihilated because, you summon dragons to eat people. It's cool.
Yeah.
That can't
All right.
happen.
The true dragon then rose into the sky, revealing its impossible size. It was several kilometers long. It flew up high into the middle air towards the red moon. Millions of observers across across the continent. Yes. David, pronunciation of the name.
Genertella?
Okay, Genertella.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
That's
Witness
how
the
that's
event.
how I pronounce it. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go with it. It is now canon.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Those
Okay.
in Peloria, Ralios, Cralorella, and the far west saw a dragon-shaped cloud obscure the red moon. Those closer saw and heard far more. Across Dragon Pass, ancient draconic powers and thoughts quiescent since the empire of Worm's friends even, were awakened. In the lunar capital of Glamour, the Red Emperor sacrificed much of his magic and power to drive the dragon back. The true dragon spiraled around Dragon Pass, circled Mount Carofin, and then returned to the huge crevice it had made where once stood the new lunar temple. Kalar Starbrow marched on Bold Home and proclaimed herself Prince of Sartar. A lunar Tarsh army led by General Fazur Widred indecisively fought the Free Sartar army. The lunar Tarsh army retreated after Fazur learned that King Ferandros, the king of Tarsh and Fazur's nephew, had murdered many of Fazur's kin and supporters while the mighty general was away campaigning.
My God.
Like you do.
Wow.
General Fazur returned to Dunstop and gathered allies. In Old Tarsh, the Shaker priestess appointed a new king of Wintertop rather than allow Fazur's son to become king. Wow.
Drama.
So many things happening in the time where we begin our adventure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for this year, none of you are from one of the special regions, so you all just roll 1d20.
Okay. That's a 3.
Ooh, 3. Nearly killed in battle between Lunars and rebels. Add a +5 to battle and give yourself a distinctive scar. More Scarborough.
Yay! Yeah, exactly. Scarboroughs.
Man, that's the one I wanted.
Well, you can pick if you don't.
Yeah, you can
want to
pick.
roll.
You can pick.
I rolled a 10 where I witnessed the dragon rise and survive.
That's
And
pretty
then
cool.
Yeah.
Gain a fear of dragons. Not at 80%, but and I feel like if you see a true dragon, like being afraid of them subsequently is just like that's just a reasonable response.
Makes
to
sense,
seeing
yeah.
Godzilla. Like,
Did you
holy
hear
pretty much,
the dragon
yeah.
was multiple kilometers long?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna kill it.
Oh,
I
man.
ain't afraid of no lizard.
I would like to
All
seduce
right.
the dragon.
Natural 20.
Oh my
I'm
god.
done. I'm done here.
Kenny's like, stop stealing my actions.
At 20, anything can happen, man.
All right.
Well, I fought in the liberation of Pavis.
Ooh.
You're welcome, Pavisians. And I was nearly killed, so +5 to battle and another distinctive scar.
Ooh, double Scarborough.
Yeah, I think I have at least 2 distinctive scars.
You do.
Yeah.
You do indeed.
Okay.
So I have a massive scar on my left foot received in a fight with a soldier.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I also fought in the liberation of Pavis.
Oh.
I had a better time of it. Acclaimed Argrath as King of Pavis. Gained loyalty Argrath. That's not great. And plus 1d3 reputation. Add +10 to battle and 1d6 times 100 lunars in war booty.
Ooh, lunar war booty.
Ah.
Yeah. Okay.
What's your battle at by now?
Oh, I think that's what I got the same thing you got, David, I think.
My base is 40. I'm starting from a 40, so
That's bananas.
Right.
So I got an 18, so acclaimed Argoth as King of Pavis. That's what you got, David?
yeah.
Gain loyalty to Argoth. And okay. Plus 1d3% reputation. Okay. Rep 10%. God, my battle is wild. I'm not even a warrior. 1d6 times 100 L in war booty.
600
Okay.
for me, baby.
Really?
Mm.
Huzzah.
And I have
All right.
2d3.
So much.
I got 500. 500.
Nice.
Mhm. Now, where it all goes on my character sheet, that's a whole other conversation.
That is a thing, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, where does it go? Dang it. So those are lunars, right? 500 lunars.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. This is a perfect place because we finished the family history section
Yes.
to take a little bathroom drink refill break
Yes.
and then come back to it and get into runes.
Oh,
And
man.
cults. All right.
Okay. Thank you for that, Rainy. So
Yeah.
good.
All right. So let's take a few and come back in, let's say, 10 minutes ish.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks.
Toodle.
I'm still here.
Hello.
I'm like going through over everything again just to make sure I got everything right.
Yeah, there's a lot of density in that whole process.
There is, but it's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, especially for me, like I've never run a game in RuneQuest and like Santi's never played in RuneQuest. So it's nice to be like, okay, it really establishes the Lunar Empire has been pushing and pushing for like multiple generations now. So you have an idea of what kind of conflict is in the world.
Right, which is cool.
Yeah. So I do like that part of it.
Yeah, how's the information density, Kenny? Like, are you keeping up with it okay?
Well, I think it's fine, honestly. Like, I'm not having I think I'm probably my own worst enemy here because like I'm going through and I'm trying to listen to you guys and I'm trying to do all the extra stuff like family and keep track of notable events. And then like I'm looking like at the rule book and it's like, oh, there's a new year. I don't know. My brain is like, oh, it's a new year and it says participating homelands all. So that means I just roll on every table.
Oh, right.
So I have to go back and be like, no. I only roll on the tables that it tells me to roll on.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's where
Unless you just want to be that kind of badass. Where you're
Right,
like, and then I
that's
did
true.
everything.
I did fucking everything.
Yeah.
So I went through and now I'm using what is it called? I'm using Demiplane to write all my notes. And I just clicked out of it and it's I'm glad it said successfully saved note because there was no
Holy
notes.
shit.
There was no like save button.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Google Doc.
Oh, here we go.
Where it
really is.
syncs. Yeah.
Glad you mentioned information density because I'm not the only one who's feeling like that, where it was like, oh, Rainy's just spoon feeding me all the character creation stuff and all that, except the spoon is like the size of a snow shovel. And she's like, here comes the airplane. And I'm just like,
It's nice because like I think post character creation in the gap between, you can go back and like revisit it.
Yes.
And then like decide which parts are important to your character, if any, and then like kind of refresh that after you've had a chance to digest a little bit. Because yeah, I think jumping, and luckily it's a long form character creation, so I think it's not likely that they're expecting you to do this, but I think like jumping straight into the game from character creation, I don't think you've had enough time to process who your character would be at that point. Like, I think you need that time between to like solidify everything.
I agree. I feel like that with Call of Cthulhu characters too. I'm like, oh, I have this epic character sheet that has all this information on it. Now I just kind of want to sit on it and look at it and look upon my works and be like, yes, this is who I am. And then I can start playing. But unless it was like, someone's like, here's your pre-gen, if it was pre-generated, I'd be like, okay, let's go. But if I'm doing it myself, I definitely need that time between.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, with I don't know how deep Glorantha is. Can I be missing a finger?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I didn't know.
Yes.
I don't know if you're gonna be like, oh, that's a -5.
Yeah, please, adjust your
item.
all of your dex-based skills
Right.
accordingly.
Oh my god.
Okay, cool. All right, dope. So the ring finger on my right hand, I think, is gonna be missing.
Nice.
Ooh.
see. So you would say that you have 9 fingers?
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. They call me the Bloody Nine.
Like, they call you Neil.
Neil Nine Mond.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Die hand?
There we go. Neil Nine Hand.
Oh man.
So yeah, 2 distinctive scars. One of them is the missing right finger, and the other one is probably something else.
Yeah, it'd be hard if it was also a missing right ring finger, because then they're not distinctive anymore.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's distinctive without being like it's a scar down my right eye and
No,
it's
that's
milky and
yeah.
like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
It needs to be
embrace
that more
embrace
detail.
the trauma.
Yeah,
It's true.
all good. We love that stuff.
I might have like a nasty like keloided scar across my throat or something.
That's fun.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, from the Battle of Pennellford, maybe.
Oh, there you go.
Mm.
The sky's the limit.
Oh, I wasn't writing down my shit. I was so
What?
caught up in the rolling things. I wasn't writing down the stuff that was happening. I was so caught up in all my fantastic.
all your extra rolls, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw much with the additional drama rolls, so
Mm-hmm.
many things to track.
Mm-hmm.
So did I get it right that I fought at Pennellford and Pavis with the two Ezrolians? Both Ezrolians were both of those?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So we are the Pennell 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I know Santi's character via clan affiliation, which is fine.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm surprised you had time to talk to me with all the studying of battle and poring over tomes and tactics.
Well, maybe we haven't
Yeah.
seen each other since we were younger. You know, I'm like coming back from
yeah.
the wars. You
With
know?
earned reputation.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm
Yeah.
bringing the Ezrolians with me. I'm like, let me show you my homeland as
Mm.
you're on your way back to your homeland, right?
Hmm.
You know, one of those deals.
Or out of it. Or back to it. Yeah, okay, yeah, that actually makes sense. I'm trying to think which would make more sense
Going
with my
back,
concept.
back to
David,
Sartar.
What's your battle skill starting at?
It's going to be base 40.
And what is it? So I'm getting a 15% battle buff from all my stuff.
Uh-huh.
I have
that-
20. I have 20.
Whoa.
Yeah, no. David found a way to hack character creation dice roll.
Mhm.
I'm in. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So the next part of character creation, as we stay in the delightful order that we totally don't mess up at all at any
No.
time,
No.
is figuring out your rune affinities. So runes are super important in many ways. One, because as we get into this is the first part where if you haven't looked ahead to decide what cult you are a part of, that's really what we should probably do first, because you have to have at least one of your runes at an affinity level that matches up with one of your deity's runes, one of your cult runes. So we should probably look ahead at cults and spend some time letting you read that I can edit out to make sure that you have an idea of who that might be. So I think do I have some cheater pages in my notes? So page 47 is the one that has like the little cheater list of deities with their runes. But there are detail pages for all of the deities as well, if you want to get into them.
Yes.
So
I'm wondering, like,
Yes.
I'm curious what some of y'all are gonna pick, and I'm kind of like in terms of areas, like I know some of the locations you already get like a default in certain runes. Like Ezrolia has a 10% default in
Yes.
Earth, right?
Mhm.
So if we were to do an Earth deity, then that would bump that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm curious, David, what do you think you're gonna do?
Oh, I'm doing Storm Bowl.
The
Mhm.
Storm Bowl for sure. Okay.
Mhm.
Why?
I like their saucy ways.
Oh my god.
And David's
If
the
this was a
anti-chaos.
That's right. They're anti-chaos, and they're kind of like weird outcasts anyway. You know, they're just they're very they're well, speaking of like trickster energies, they're not tricksters per se, but they kind of you know, they embody the bull, you know, the bull in the china shop as much as the power of the bull, you know. So they're not they're barely tolerated until such time as they're needed, you know. I like that.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm torn between. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the Earth Queen, Arnalda, but then also Yermal, the trickster, is also appealing. So not really
fun.
Yeah, just for the disorder piece, you know. Because like Arnalda's all about harmony, but I don't think my character's really into that. Like, she's a little more selfish. So
yeah, Yermal would be good.
Especially with illusion and movement and stuff too.
Sure.
I can't remember which one I picked as my erstwhile cult.
You went with, let me find
The Axe Ladies.
Yeah.
The Axe Ladies of the East.
Oh, the Seven Mothers
The
or
Beaster Gore?
Yeah.
He goes,
The Beaster.
Yeah.
The Beaster.
Avenging
And then
daughter.
and then left the cult in and then got that lovely little curse of vengeance.
Yeah. Now I'm more down with Ermol. I think Beaster Gore. Where?
Yeah. Took one of the axes. Ran off.
And left. Decided this isn't for me anymore.
Huh.
Out.
Right. Wait, so which one are you going with?
I'm still trying to find
you're okay.
the first one.
Yeah, so on page 47, Santi, the one that you were originally part of is that second one in the first column, the Beaster Gore.
Okay. In the descriptions, in the like high 200s, do you know where they are?
290.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Kenny. Moment of decision.
Oh man. I'm thinking either Chalana Aroy, the goddess of healing, or perhaps Erithia, the herd mother.
Ooh.
What do you guys think? Oh, well, only female Praxians can join that cult, so I'm checked out.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a Praxian. I didn't know it was exclusively.
If I am the goddess of healing, I take an oath never to harm an intelligent creature or needlessly cause pain to a living thing. I'm definitely taking that.
Ooh.
Chalana Aroy.
Okay.
Very nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, you know.
You know.
You know. Sephat's just like this guy, you know.
All right. So, with our original deities in mind, for those of us who are changing immediately after character creation, Santi, just keep in mind they all have at least 2 runes associated with them. So, as you're selecting yours, you'll want to make sure that you have one at least that's 50% or better that matches up with your deity. Because there are 2 categories of runes, and this we'll get into. So you'll do your elementals first, and then you'll get in to your other ones. But just make sure one of them kind of matches up at least to show your affinity with them. All right, so back to my book. All right, so
my book.
We're starting with our elemental runes. These ones are more straightforward when we set them up, but they're the ones that will look most familiar as elements-ish stuff. But there are 6 of them. There are descriptions of them, so you can see how they impact like your character's personality and various things. Those start being described on page 48. But yeah, so when you choose them, you're going to choose a primary, a secondary, and a tertiary. The first, second, and third. Primary is going to be at 60%, second at 40%, and third at 20%. Anything else would be a 0 unless something else modifies it or you spend points later to adjust it. But for those of you who need to know these things, if you are from Sartar, you get plus 10% to your air rune. And if you are from Azrolia, you get plus 10% to your earth rune. And that is a separate / on top of what you would choose for primary, second, and third for your percentages. So that's on page 45 if you need to reference those numbers. But otherwise, I'd take a look through your elemental runes, decide which ones kind of match up with your character. Because again, this is kind of like how you connect with the world and how they manifest are kind of important. So like if you have a really strong affinity with a rune, you probably act in accordance with those things. So just something to be aware of. Don't choose one that doesn't match and make it super high percentage, because that would be weird. I mean, do what you want, I guess, but.
All right.
Also careful about that moon rune. That's the lunar rune.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Only part of that.
So I mean, you can be a little conflicted if you want to. But they're not, I mean, and there are some cults that have a little bit of affinity towards the moon rune that are not necessarily 7 mothers and all that, but it's not super common.
Okay, and then the other ones, they can be left empty, correct?
Yep, so if you are not choosing them and they're not modified by your homeland for now, they get to be at 0.
Okay, so I picked 70 for earth. I had a 10 default on
Right.
that, so I just added. And then 40 for air and 20 for water.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. So there's like a level of earthiness because of Azrolia. In terms of pragmatic, prudent, worldly, sensual. And then the air is what kind of lifts that up a little with the unpredictability, passionate, violent, proud. And then the water is the mutable kind of, mutable, capricious, and mercurial. So that covers the personality pretty well.
I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, I had to min-max air.
Hmm.
So I have 70 in air. And then for secondary, I went with fire, because it is the element of purification. Destroys polluting matter, withdraws upward from the material world. And means I'm pure, chaste, idealistic, and perceptive.
We'll see about that.
We'll see about that indeed. And then for my tertiary, I went with darkness, because it was the first to withdraw itself from chaos. Thank you very much. And it is to be secretive, patient.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
I like
my
this
vote.
very much.
All right.
I also like that like air has like the sense chaos as like one of its primary senses. And I'm like,
Yeah.
sounds about right.
Yeah. What is that smell? Oh, that's chaos.
That would be chaos, all right?
Yeah, chaos.
So do I get to pick which rune is my primary one?
Yep. So you pick primary and then secondary, tertiary. But so it's like 60, 40, 20. Plus you have your plus 10 to earth anyway from being Ezrealian. And Santi, what were your... Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you about yours.
Oh, yeah. I ended up going primarily Earth. So I'm 70 in Earth. And then balanced between air and water. Both are at 40. And I have 20 in Darkness for that edge against chaos and so on.
You went ahead with some of your point spending stuff, but that's okay.
Yeah, so that's where I ended up. But yes, for now it was. I want to say Earth, water, air is what I ended up doing. Something like that in that order. Yeah. So yeah, Beast or Gore, avenging daughter.
Yeah, gotta go with that Earth
mother.
Yeah.
It's kind of a prerequisite.
Very true.
Yeah. I ironically hate Oathbreakers. And my my sisters in the temples all across the land hunt down Oathbreakers.
Oh. I'm sure that won't come back to haunt you.
No, never.
Nope. Yeah, things that will not come back to hunt anybody.
It'll be
character's aunt, Kenny's Uncle Marty, and all of the things hunting Santi. And then we'll see what happens with Des at some point.
I do have a warrior twin sister.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You have your twin.
Yes.
And I'm sure very different personality than you.
Yeah, I have a feeling
That's
she's, but she looks the same, of course.
Oh, yeah.
So, but she's like super buff, and is a warrior. And I think she would probably be affiliated with, probably Ernalda.
Yeah.
But also maybe, maybe Marin Gore, depending on.
Maybe both. Because
maybe, you can do multiple, So maybe a little bit of Marin Gore in terms of her death and disorder. So.
Cool.
I do have a famous ancestor.
That's true.
Yeah, your grandparent went out hardcore.
Yeah.
The Bandit Queen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the runes, and it's like darkness, water, earth, air, moon. But what about like harmony and truth and stasis and man and all that stuff?
So we're getting into those ones next. So you have your elemental runes that you're going to pick, and they get their own points and stuff. And then we'll get into these opposing runes, which feel much more like Pendragon because they must balance.
Right. Yeah.
And then you'll get a little bit of wiggle room to make adjustments with some extra points.
Okay. Because I know my goddess is like harmony and fertility. Check.
Yeah.
So are there elemental runes that I would want to pick to enforce those?
So you won't have to pick an elemental rune to match your deity, since the ones that she's looking are going to be in your next list anyway. So you can look at them in a couple of ways, depending on if you're min-maxing or not. You can look at them from a roleplay perspective of going through and looking at kind of the personalities and things associated with them and being like, which ones kind of match up with the way I'm going to be playing this person. Or you can see that they are tied to certain characteristics. And later on, we will see how they might adjust your actual physicality and things like that based on how things are going on and vice versa. So,
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So in that case, I think I'm going to do moon, earth, and air.
I'm going with that moon.
I like it.
it.
Into the moon.
To the moon.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So the next ones, as Kenny provided a lovely segue for, we have our power and form runes. So we are going to be, so again, like we're talking about, they're opposed. So they always need to add up, and this game uses percentages. So things add up to 100. It's very exciting. So by default, everything's 50-50, which makes it really easy, especially if you need at least 50 to match up with your deity of choice.
Oh.
It's there by default unless you change it. But to start, what you're going to do is choose 2 affinities from these runes, where whatever you choose an affinity with goes up to 75, which means its opposing one drops down to 25. So you'll pick 2 where that happens. And then again, after that, we'll have some wiggle room to make changes, but this is what you're starting with.
Okay. So you pick your top 2, and then we're going to go from there.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I picked disorder and fertility.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Yeah, that matches up with what you've been setting up so far. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Mine was easy since Storm Bowl has 2 power runes anyway, so I went with death, maximum goth impact, and beast.
Nice.
Ooh. I'm going to do harmony and fertility.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
I love it. I like Kenny. You were like complete opposite affinities, and yet weirdly like just using different methods to get what we want. This is so funny.
I am but a shadowy reflection of you.
Or the other way.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
How long anyone left? Did everyone else go?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was fertility and movement.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a feeling in many ways Dez's character and Santi's character will get along with the decisions that are made.
Okay.
Does it involve the 3 F's of the warrior way? And we're in.
Right. Once you have those selected, you get 50 points that you can distribute among your runes as you see fit. Just be aware, of course, if you are doing any of the opposing ones, if you shift one, it shifts the other. So keep that in mind. But yeah, 50 points that you can move around as you will. Keep in mind, if anything is 80 or higher, then you are strongly tied to that rune, which may mean at certain points, if certain things occur, which would be a trigger for such a rune, you may not have much choice in how you respond to it.
Okay.
I'm thinking 80-20 harmony fertility.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
You can also boost your elemental runes too with these points,
Yeah,
right?
any
Oh, really?
runes may be affected with these points.
Okay.
My students have started to call me out on my dramatic voice, and I'm like,
Are they?
this
Do
is
they-
how I talk. This is what I'm used to doing. Don't make fun of me.
What are they doing? Do they do it themselves or?
No, they just go like, that's an interesting accent you just did. And I'm
Oh
like,
my
it's my
God.
dramatic voice.
Uh-huh.
With it.
It's the Miss Frizzle at Hogwarts.
I've already told them that Miss Frizzle is hashtag goals for me and they can deal with it. So.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I think I'm doing this right. I'm still feeling a little 50 among all of your. Okay.
Yeah. 50 points that you may spread however you like.
Mhm.
Just keep in mind, if you increase an opposing rune, it does affect the other one, but that doesn't cost points when the other one
Right.
changes. So
Right. Okay.
just lets you personalize it a little bit.
Right. Yeah, exactly. This is what I always lose track
Every
of.
damn time I end up writing the value for my earth rune inside the earth rune because I just see a square box and I'm like, oh yeah,
It's a box.
Mhm.
It's a box. Put the number in it. What's in the box?
Oh my god.
Your earth rune number.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, exactly.
So we only get 50 points to distribute.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
100 points. Oh, okay.
No, but Santi tried to do that too, so you're not alone.
Okay,
And I
good.
said,
Yeah.
no, just because you're married to the GM does not mean you get extra points.
So I actually can't put harmony or fertility at 80%. So I'm gonna have to do something else here.
Well, if you chose those as your affinities when you did your rune choices, remember those went up to 75. So you
Right.
had 75, 25
Mm-hmm.
for those anyway in that opposing relationship. So you'd only need 5 extra points each to bring them up.
Right. That's what I did.
Whoa, wait.
That's what I did too.
Hmm.
I moved movement to 80, fertility to 80.
So the primary runes can be harmony or fertility?
So yeah, if you, like when we got down to the power and form runes, if you chose, for example, harmony and fertility as your affinities for that section, that puts them both at 75, and then death and disorder at 25.
Oh.
Yeah. And then
I
you
see
spend
what's
your
going
points
on.
from there. So it's closer than you think.
Okay. So, sorry, 70 and 75, you said?
75 for both of them.
Oh, there's both 75, and then the other ones are 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're opposing ones. And then everything else is 50-50 to start.
Okay, I think I messed this up probably, but I guess I could read them off. I guess
Also, no one will know. So mess them up however you want.
that's true. Yeah, so I have 80 fertility, 20 death, harmonies 20, disorders 80, truth is 30, illusion is 70, stasis and movement are 50-50, beast is 40, man is 60, and then air is 50, earth is 70, and water's 30.
Nice.
So I think that's it.
No.
That's what.
I mean, that sounds legit. I'm not
Yeah.
checking your math. But
No, I know. No, I know my math is fine. It's just like making sure that I used all my points properly
Mm.
because I have a tendency to forget to add things.
So.
Yeesh.
We will not mention how far into the Horror on the Orient Express campaign you went.
Oh man, that was pretty shameful.
That's notorious. Oh, fuck
Whatever. Whatever. I still did a damn good job considering.
No, you were awesome.
Thank you, Rainy. But
Well, yeah, I would say you did a damn good job in spite of nerfing yourself.
That's what
So
that's
it
what I
was-
meant. That's what I meant.
Imagine what you could have done had you not nerfed yourself. That's the main
Yeah.
thing.
All right. So this is where I'm at. Death at 25, disorder 25, and then their counterparts, fertility and harmony, are both at 80. So I spent 5 points in each of those.
Mhm.
And then air is
So that
at
should make the opposite 20. If it's at
Yeah.
80, the opposite should be 20.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see what you're
because
saying.
they
Okay.
always have to add.
Right. Okay, cool. Oh, that's neat. I like that. All right. And then air was my tertiary, so it's at 20%. Moon was at, what was the primary one? 60?
60. Yeah.
60. So I put 20 points in that, so that's up to 80.
Nice.
And then earth was my secondary, and I get a 10% bonus in it, and I have it at 70.
Cool.
Does that sound right?
Sounds cool.
Mhm.
Okay, Cool.
into it.
So I have 3 runes that are 80%. So I'm ready for you to take away my autonomy.
I do appreciate every opportunity that you give me for such things.
I've got air at 80. Fire and darkness I both bumped up to 50. And then beast is at 80. Death 75. Movement 75. And everything else is untouched.
Lovely.
Mhm.
And Santi, did you share what you did for your second section of runes?
I spent my my 50 points. So you mean? Yeah, I spent my 50 points. Like Des, I moved my 75s to 80. So I went movement to 80, fertility to 80. And then I took my base earth 10 and I dumped a bunch of points into that. Well, not a bunch of points, but some more points into that to go to 70. And then I took my base air 10 and dumped the rest into that to go to air 40. Because
So many different diversified portfolios of runes.
yeah.
Right.
All right, so the next part is the most D&D part, and that's rolling your characteristics. So my recommendation to start on page 51, it gives a little description of the characteristics we're going to be working with, so you kind of have an idea of what they do. Then we're going to be rolling some dice to get some scores for you to plug into those places. So there's a couple ways that I'm okay with handling this. I'm fine with doing rolls and assigning scores, especially if you have an idea of how you want to play your character. But you can also, if you want to go full rando, you can roll and place in order. So totally up to you how you want to handle that. But yeah, so take a second to read over what the characteristics do, and then we'll get into how to roll those numbers.
Who's playing a size 1 adventurer in this? Can you play fairies? Eddie.
It based on how the dice rolls work, you do have to be at least a size. Oh wait, size is that one. So your minimum is going to be 8. But I'm okay with taking liberties if you have a very strong idea of how big you should be.
Right.
You want to be 1 foot tall. Really want to be 1 foot tall.
Oh my god.
As low as 3 inches. I mean,
I know, that's the thing. That's what I was staring at, like
Yeah.
3 inches.
Like my character's name is
That'd be like those-
Thumbelina. I have a
Thumbelina.
battle of 70.
I was gonna say, if you want to be like the comic relief brownies from Willow, you know.
Yeah.
We're
married
the
to that.
best.
Yep.
I was literally just thinking that. Get out of my brain.
The way that RuneQuest has you roll your stats, everything except for size and int are 3d6.
Okay.
So we are going to roll 3d6 5 times for the rest of your stats.
Okay. In terms of traffic on this little channel here,
Oh,
what do
Lord.
y'all? Who wants to go first? Kenny. Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh my god. No pressure.
Well, okay. Well, I rolled a thing. I
What's
rolled
that?
my-
Is that your size?
That's my strength. I'm rolling. I'm rolling straight down.
Oh, you're putting them in order. You're living dangerously.
That is.
Dude, this
But
is
to be fair,
yeah.
you're also the character who cannot hurt any intelligent being.
Yeah.
right.
So-
that's
Yeah.
You're not working out.
You never lift
Okay.
anything over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, oh.
What?
Learn from me. Oh God, learn from me.
Oh Jesus, what are you doing?
What has happened right
Okay.
now?
Kenny needs to restart life right now.
Yeah, the reset
Nope.
button.
I'm good.
He's going with it.
I got a 6, a 9, and an 8.
Okay.
Oh.
I got another 9. This is very good. This is very good. This is 8, 9. What do I not roll? Intelligence and what?
And size.
Size.
And size. Oh, okay. I already rolled my size, I guess. So what? I guess I'll skip over that. Or is that what, like a 46 or what?
So size and int are 2d6 plus 6.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Because it wants you to have a higher low end, so that you don't do that to
fair.
yourself.
That's fair. All right. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Terrifying.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll roll one more. This is my charisma,
I'm scared.
and then the other ones. Oh,
Oh,
hey.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
A
The
12
dice
shot.
are like, we're on board with your weird character concept. You'll have no physical traits, but you'll be charismatic.
For
Yeah.
real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So oh my God. Dex, intelligence, power. Okay. So now I need, and the others are 2d6 plus 6.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So I have 11 size.
Oh.
Nice.
Is it?
Yeah.
You're an average. You're above
Average.
average
Yeah.
height for
Average.
a female character.
Yeah,
yes.
5'6", 5'7", around
Yeah,
there.
that's above average.
And my int, oh God, 9.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Jesus.
I know. Just so everybody's caught up, I'm just gonna go ahead and copy and paste.
Well, the good news is that I was keeping tally as I saw how your rolls were shaking out, and it says if the total of all these rolls is 92 or less, and your total is 64, my friend, you may allot up to 3 more points to your adventurer's characteristics as desired.
Nice.
Yep.
How
you get
generous.
3 pity points.
3 sad
points.
boy
Yeah.
points.
Is that going into my intelligence or what? I'm a doctor.
I would put it in. I would either put it into POW or charisma.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Power, charisma.
I think you want to get
Yeah.
that POW up.
Yeah, me too.
I'll bump my pow to 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
Doctor.
What we
well,
just saw there, what we
Doctor.
just witnessed.
hey, there's
To
a
be fair,
reason.
many characteristics can be increased through training
true.
and such. So
Mhm.
Training.
Also, you're
You
gonna
can
get
start
some
working out.
rune bumps.
You will get some rune bumps.
yeah, that's true. We're not done yet. These are initial
we're not.
numbers.
Oh my god.
This is baby Bronze Age Kenny.
Ah!
All right. So who wants to go next? Into
Yeah, who wants to follow that up?
There's some quietness. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm setting up a favorite roll here. All right, I'm gonna go. Here I go.
What's first?
all right.
Strength?
I don't know if I'm brave enough to do these in order. I might have to assign as.
Yeah, because if you don't go Kenny's style, you can just roll
Yeah.
5 times and assign them as you will, and then roll your 2d6s plus 6.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
already
Kenny
seeing
wa-
I'm gonna
Kenny
do
was
that.
super
But I do not
brave.
want a strength of 8
Look, I go hard
Yeah.
mode. Everybody
No, I
knows
get
this.
it. I get it. I used to
Unless
be
it's
like that. Well, have you seen Alien?
Oh
I
my
have seen
God.
Alien. There we go.
No, I used to be like that, Kenny, and right now I feel I've gone through a string of bad game experiences, so
I
I'm
understand.
feeling very vulnerable right now.
I'm sorry.
Going hard mode made her into the shell of a woman you see before you today.
Oh man, we need to start a support group of just.
I know,
It's
Yep,
okay.
yep,
It's okay.
yep,
People, yeah, hurt people who have been hurt by 3d6
yep. That's
In Fight
right.
Club style.
That's right.
bell
Yes,
curve.
yep, yep.
Victims of the bell curve.
That's right.
David, don't forget it's 2d6 plus 6. Don't nerf yourself
yeah,
a
you're
whole
right.
die.
I hella nerfed myself.
Oh my
That was a
God,
super
yeah.
nerf. All right,
Oh my
that's 16 actually. All right, and boom, boom, boom. I like this dice roller.
Yeah, this
Very
is an
fancy.
amazing dice roller.
It's
Yeah,
much
it really does you
clearer
good.
to see the constituent
What?
elements of your result.
Penny.
Yeah, I also love this dice roller.
All right, you know what, Kenny? I feel for you. It's subjective. I get it. I understand. The trauma is very fresh. I understand.
Oh my god.
All right, so let me try because I've been through the friggin' ringer with Roll20. I'm just saying.
Man.
Roll 20
right.
is cursed.
Okay.
It is.
The
officially.
Roll20 ringer still has like chunks of you on it.
It does.
Hasn't been like
Oh,
scrubbed
yeah.
off yet.
Oh, yes. It's very true. Very that. Okay. All right. I'm almost done with this. Interesting. Okay. Let's do some POW up in this gig. Wow. Okay. Okay, that's good. Just us switching out. Okay, and then it's 2d6 plus 6 for the rest. Okay, so 13. And this music's awesome, by the way.
I tried to keep it to non-specific chill background things.
I like it, yeah. Okay. So I think, yeah, I love it. Yep. Okay. So my side, yeah, I'm. Yeah, 12. We can't switch out the ones that we've rolled like for intersize, right? We
So
can't
for
switch
those two, you can swap them with each other. If you want to do that.
I am half tempted to have a 6/3 wild ass thief. Actually, I'm very tempted.
God.
Just like very, very yeah. Oh, what to do? Size 13 is 5'9" or 5'10". I mean, I might as well go big or go home. So my size is 17. My int is 13. She's a very tall, very effing tall thief, which isn't great as a thief. So more of a con artist, I'm thinking. Look, my size is 17. I'm going to regret that. I know it.
Must be nice.
God.
No, you'll just go into a place and you'll say, I am sneaking. And everyone will look over and be like, no, you're not. And you're like, I said I'm sneaking. And they're like, all right, okay.
Okay.
I can intimidate. Intimidation is the name of the game. And Kenny, I've been there with the rolls. I totally, oh God, I
I'm
feel
not
for
mad
you right
about
now.
it. No. I actually, I mean, I like that kind of stuff. And I'm,
All right.
you know, I'm a little baby frail lady, and I'm a doctor, and I'm like, I don't hurt people, so please don't punch me.
Oh yeah, that's true actually. Although I was thinking with my twin, if we're identical twins, then she's like 6'3" and she's huge, but she's like super muscle bound, where it's like compared to me, it's like she's even more massive looking than I am. I look wee in comparison to her. Awesome. I'm just picturing. So it'll be interesting. All right, cool.
Nice. I hope it's okay though, because like Rainey and I went through this where I rolled like actual dice. And the first time we did it, I rolled okay. I was happy with the array that I did, but we did like all 7. And then it was like, oh, we're supposed to do it this way instead, where you roll 5 and 2, right? And so Rainey was like,
pig it.
Oh, okay.
right. So she was like, will you like, do you want to abandon your rolls and just start from scratch? And I was like, because I had a decent array, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? Fine. Let's just do it over again with 5 and 2. And
Okay.
so like,
How did it go?
it went so amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah,
right.
he ended up rolling ridiculously when we redid it because I messed up that some of them were 3d6 and some of them weren't. Yeah.
Nice.
So I ended up with that array for those, and then
Wow.
let me take off. Is that okay? Cool. There we go.
Yeah, Santi's also a big girl. Not as big as Des,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, I was gonna say you'll oh, I feel so girly.
I'm
because
more
you're
like a super. I'm more
oh.
like a supermodel, like height. You know, like.
Yeah. I'm like 6'2", 209. You know, no, only 209 because she's like shredded. She's like warrior monk carved out of wood type of physique, but like lean. You know, like I guess warrior monk is the only way I can think to describe it, because her dex is. That's why I put her. I rolled blessed 666 and I like jumped out of my chair. It was great. And so I put that in dex because that's the idea that I had.
Nice.
To go with.
very cool. All right. We all have arrays we are very happy with. All of us.
Every single
All of
one.
Yes.
So let's modify them a little bit. Yay. So the first thing that we will do, your primary elemental rune, so your highest elemental rune, adds 2 to a certain characteristic depending on what that rune is. So if your highest rune is moon, like I think Kenny's is, then you get to increase either power or charisma by 2.
Ooh.
Stuff.
Wow, yeah, that is tough because they're both 12.
Yeah, you have to decide which one's better.
Dangers. What does POW do? I guess I can look at it right here.
Work magic.
Yeah. POW is your ability to work magic. Am I a magic high school girl?
If you're a healer, you can be a very magical healer.
Oh. And then Cha is just like leadership and personality. Which I'm not really. Yeah, I'm gonna bust up the POW, bro. I'm at 14 POW.
Good.
Kapow.
Call.
Kapow.
Kapow, indeed.
I guess on that, I have 3 runes at 80%.
But for elemental runes,
yeah, correct.
this one just is going elemental. What's your second highest elemental rune, Kenny?
My second highest elemental rune would be Earth at a robust 70%.
Right. So with Earth as your secondary, you can increase either con or charisma by 1.
I'm gonna bust my con up to 10.
Okay.
Just looking for those double digits, bro. I'm looking up here too at minimum characteristics, and it's like you can re-roll 1s. That's okay.
Yeah.
You can re-roll a 6. That's okay. And I'm like, do I want to do that?
You can roll. That's the thing with these. Like, you can always re-roll stuff. I'm not here trying to stop you from living your life.
I'm gonna try to re-roll my strength because it is a 6, and now it's an 11.
There you go.
I think
You can carry the bodies back to the front lines. And
Exactly.
Toss them back out there.
I feel like
Kenny-
I've survived multiple wars.
Kenny, what's your size again?
My size is 11, so I'm a 5'6"er.
Okay, so now I'm rethinking my size. Because my dex is 9.
You want to trade size? Can we trade?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Let's see here. I'm just kind of wondering if I should, like, if I'm a thief.
Yeah, you can't switch out your size and your dex.
I know. Yes. Ruining my good time. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's a helpful reminder.
I like the idea of a tall thief. You know, you can like bust it. Like if people have tall houses or something like that.
Just put my hand in the window and like
exactly. Like Michael
Or
Jordan
the
with a cookie
idea that
jar.
like you could be like super like tall and lithe and just like good at like kind of hunching in the shadows and stuff like that. You have horrible posture because you're trying to blend in. Yeah, it's great.
All right. I'm gonna go with the weirdness. No, David, thanks for that reminder. Because it's like, I think I asked that like a couple minutes ago, and then I'm like, look, just do that.
Gonna put 16 here. Yeah.
Yeah, nope. All right.
Des, what is your highest elemental rune?
Highest elemental rune is Earth at 70. So I added 2 to my con.
Nice.
Mhm.
And then what'd you do for your secondary one?
Secondary elemental is air, so that is Dex, I think.
Strength or charisma?
Strength or charisma. Then it would be charisma.
Okay.
And then 1 to my charisma, which makes it 13.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mhm.
All right, David, how did you adjust yours?
Well, I got a +2 for air to my strength, which made my strength 18.
Nice.
I'm super swole. And then I actually had
Yeah.
a tie on my secondaries between fire and darkness, and it says you can just choose which between those two. So I went with darkness because that gives me a +1 size. So my size is 17.
Ooh.
And then con 10, dex 10, intelligence 12, power 9,
Mhm.
charisma 8. I figure the con 10 is probably related to the scarring I got, you know.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
Yeah, that's good.
And then Santi, what did you end up modifying with yours? Do you have your notes?
Yes, with Earth, I took a +2 to charisma and ended up at 16. And then for air, I got a +1 to strength to end up at 17.
Very good. A couple of strunks in the group.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll do the predator hand clasp when we see each other.
Yeah.
The one with
You
the
son of a
nuclear,
bitch.
like explosion. I love that version.
So good. Yep.
Brightens up any day.
All right. So the next section, and I would say probably the least exciting section to fill in, and depending on what characters you're using, also confusing to find some of them is what I found in practice, are the attributes that are then based on such things.
Mm-hmm.
So for magic points, which is easy, they're equal to your current POW.
Mm-hmm.
So easy peas.
Yeah.
And as you use them, you do regen them in some ways. So we will talk about that.
Okay.
Then we've got hit points, which is a whole thing. So your hit points are equal to your con, but that's modified by your size and your POW.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
a fun
Old
one.
school.
Yeah, we're taking it old school. So you start out with whatever your con value is, but you're going to change things around. So there is a table on page 55 that shows the hit point modifiers. So how you adjust your con value to make your actual hit point total is going to go up or down by a few points, potentially, depending on where you land on those two values.
Okay. So I have 15 hit points.
Damn.
Yeah. My con ults Earth, you know. I'm like a roach.
Plus that size.
Like a roach.
And the
That
size,
size
though.
doesn't hurt either.
Size helps. POW is low, but it didn't have it was a neutral effect on the thing, so it's just 15. That's a me.
Yeah, I have a modest 12, which should be interesting.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, that lower con.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'll just have to kill everything before it can kill me.
Right.
Yep.
That's the only
I
way.
was gonna say it's not quite glass cannon. It's like let's step up from that.
It's a little
Brass
stronger than
Plus, I have 16 hit points, and I'm
Ooh.
very wild and whatnot. Wild and chaotic.
Hmm.
Ironically, not chaotic, capricious.
Mm-hmm. I like it. David. I like that your character has 12 because it's like just kind of like you've seen some shit. You're not necessarily like you're very strong,
Yeah.
but you've gone through a lot, so your body is maybe like, oh, why? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Can relate to that. Truck full of rocks.
Oh man.
Especially. Out my back,
Mhm.
my knee, my elbow. Oh damn.
Yeah, it's all falling
Ow, my
apart.
cartilage.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, while Kenny works on it, because it's related, we'll do hit location points. Because your hit points get divided into parts of your body so that they can be horribly destroyed, leaving the rest of you good to carry on with your day. So, as you will see on that same page, 55, there's a second table. You find where your total hit points lands on that table and divide up your hit points into those body parts accordingly.
Okay, thank you.
Sick, I'm caught up.
Yay!
Yay!
Did you get your hit points in there?
Got my hit points in there.
Okay.
Got my hit locations.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. The next one that it shows you just going down the list is your healing rate, and that's just based on your con. So matched up with the table. Again, your healing rate is how you recover hit points like naturally over time, assuming you are otherwise stable. And after that is your damage bonus, another one where we go and compare some stats and add them up. So you are going to add your strength and size together. Some of you have big numbers, some of you don't, and you will get a damage bonus that is either neutral, negative, or positive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I don't
No,
need
that plus 1d6 over here.
Woof.
What?
Oh yeah.
I have plus 1d4.
Nice.
Sweet. Just gonna have to take stuff down quick. Take it down quick.
Mm-hmm.
Which should be, I mean, I don't know, doable. I don't know what any of these numbers mean at this point.
Yeah, we don't have the
So-
context of gameplay yet, right?
Yes,
So,
we're getting
yeah.
there. We're just building it up.
All right. Spirit combat
Yeah.
damage has a similar setup where it's based on your POW and charisma. So you're going to add those together and look at the table, see what you do when it's not the physical, but the spiritual that is involved. And depending on what character sheet you're using, you may or may not have a spot for that. Don't know.
I don't think I have a
Spirit
spot
combat
for that.
damage.
I do. I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm been there, done that.
You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm actually becoming a more proactive player thanks to this. So thank you, Rainey. David, you have helped me so
What?
much over the years. And
I was gonna
what?
say, what? All these years I've been holding you back. I've been enabling you.
Yeah, because I'm just like, what is this? And you're like, what's your blah? And I go blah, and you're like blah. And so, you know,
Yeah, well, that's true.
yeah. But I
That's
mean,
true.
that's not bad because when you're in a group, it's like, you know, it's super helpful. And so I thank you for that. But now I'm like, oh shit, I'm on my own.
Namaste.
What'd you say?
Namaste. You're on your own.
Oh my God. I don't like it. Okay.
David,
let's
on the sheet that you're using, does it have separate spots for like the different strike ranks?
It does.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay. Because it doesn't on the folio one, I don't think.
Yeah, it's all
Which I
under
thought
the
was weird.
characteristics. It has damage bonus, size, strike rank, dex strike rank, healing rate. And then the spirit damage is on the right side.
Sweet.
My spirit damage is 1d6 plus 1.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool.
You're like, don't punch me
That's
in real
amazing.
life, but spirits come for me.
Exactly.
I can can only end well.
Yeah,
Head by the spirit.
exactly. I made the oath to not harm a living thing.
Ooh, that's true.
go.
Fair enough.
Love it.
So real quick, the hit point
Gosh.
modifier, it says it's con modified by size and POW. So I put
Yes.
all three of those together, and that's the characteristic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you read the table 3 times with each different characteristic.
Oh, good.
Or well, two times, I guess, right?
Yeah.
You start
you
with
read
con,
it 2
your
times and then change your con with those to get your hit points.
Wait, now
Yeah.
I'm confused.
All right. What's your
My
size?
con,
Yeah.
my con was 10.
Yeah,
I had
okay.
size 17, which gives a +2, and then I have POW of 9, which is nil. So my final hit points are 12.
Because con +2 in that case.
Oh man, I'm still on fractions.
Okay, you're good. So what's your size?
No fractions.
Penny,
You don't
for your
need
character?
Oh yeah. So my con is 10,
Okay, so that's your starting value.
right?
So
Which
what's
is-
your size?
Which is nothing. So my size is 11.
All right, so size 11 is nothing, so you're still at 10. And then what's your POW?
My POW is 14.
So 14 is also nothing, so you're still at 10. So your hit points are 10.
Okay, good. That's what I have written down. I'm
Okay.
glad we got to the same conclusion.
Good. Perfect.
We have checked it, all is good.
Yeah.
All right, so for strike ranks, there are many different kinds. David and I are probably gonna have a long talk about this at some point.
Schedule sometime soon.
Yeah, just to figure out all the flavors. But if you read through it, you got your dex one, which is based on dex, so at least it's straightforward. You have a size one based on size.
Mhm.
And then when you get your weapons, they also have strike ranks and things.
Yes.
So yes,
Yes.
please record
Lower
it.
is better. Lower
Yeah.
strike rank is better. I was betrayed by my dex of 10, sadly.
Yeah, me and my
yeah.
9. Yeah, it's bad.
I've got the reach. I just don't have the finesse.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like Ivan Drago in Rocky 4.
Oh my god.
He's got the reach. Damn, damn.
You got the reach. Da, da, da. You like the power.
Is it so? I'm using the folio character sheet, and I just see one strike rank
Yeah.
field.
That-
Is that right?
So I think Santi with yours, did we do them like 1/the other or something to put them both in there?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I
okay,
ended
cool.
up doing.
Okay.
Because yeah, they only give you one slot for it.
Usually you're combining them, but sometimes the granularity is helpful. So
With the good old 4/2.
All right, we're getting to some more tables that are Kenny's favorite kind, where you have to look at them and add things together multiple times
Oh,
to get your
fuck.
total.
Oh, yay.
And these are your modifiers. And like, David, am I right in seeing like that these like straight up change your base values?
yes.
Okay. So, yay. You'll
Yay,
notice,
indeed.
especially depending on the character sheet you're using, it usually does divide up your skills into these categories, which makes it easier to track. We're going to start with the agility skills category modifier. So,
Odd.
for agility skills, we're actually looking at a bunch of different characteristics. So your strength, size, dex, and POW all modify this category.
Mm-hmm.
And it's summative. So you will compare your characteristics to the score ranges that are given, and then the table will tell you if that keeps it the same or increases or decreases the base value of those skills.
Okay.
So this is the place where really high scores can actually sometimes nerf you,
Yeah.
depending on the category.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I look at each skill, strength, size, dex, and pow,
Yeah.
and then I figure out if they're modified by anything, and then I add those modifiers together, and
Yes.
that's the result.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes they are beefy. Sometimes they are neutral. And occasionally they hurt.
Mine equals to a straight out 0.
Yay! Not negative. Da, 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 da.
My POW saved me.
Nice. Yeah, so you're going to do that again for each of those main big clumps of skills. They each have different characteristics that influence them. And what's cool is at the end, whatever value you get, if it's a plus or a minus, that changes those starting base values of those skills accordingly. And if they're neutral, then you don't have to worry about changing anything because it keeps them as is.
And my size killed me on stealth.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Why did I pick 17?
Send it.
I feel stupid. This is dumb.
You can swap your int and your size still if you want
Yeah.
to. It's
I may do
totally
that.
Although now you'll have to refigure all your derived characteristics.
I can
A
barely
few
do
of
that
them.
as it is. Like I'm reaching my maximum saturation point with with the character creation
we're getting there.
at this point.
Yeah.
And I know, yeah. I'm
Almost there.
I'm
We're almost
behind. I'm definitely behind. Let's see here.
We're actually getting to the point pretty soon, well, where you can finish stuff off screen so we can turn off our brains for a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay. So I'm nothing basically across the board.
oh no. Oh my
Well,
god.
my manipulation and my stealth are both -5s, but my magic is +5.
Mm.
So, you know.
Yeah, your
makes
character
sense.
definitely has a flavor. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Pralines.
Possibly cream.
Bengay.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm so glad I have 2 monitors. I don't think I could do this with one.
Yeah, it's an ordeal.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you right now.
I always feel for does because especially in online games you need that
Yeah.
monitor real estate.
I'm
so
on my little laptop plugging away.
impossible.
Yeah, well, it's happening.
Re-
You're doing the
Doing
impossible.
it.
Yeah.
I am. I'm somehow managing, but it is impossible. Let's see, perception. Yeah, I don't really have a thief here. I don't know. I don't know what she is. Like,
Oh, you haven't even gotten to your occupational
Yeah.
skills yet.
Ooh.
It's true.
oh.
Because these are just base modifiers, right? It doesn't mean you didn't persevere and do that stuff anyway.
right.
right.
Okay. All right.
And maybe you're just the kind of thief who's really good at strangling people. You know, like thieves can do
Yeah.
a bunch of different things.
I'm not.
Oh.
I don't really feel like doing that. I'm not
Stand in
the
a
mood.
road and you go, there's a toll.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
just
got.
wait around at like downtown parking lot and then be like,
Yeah.
hey man, $5 to park here.
The stealth
gosh.
mission. No
Yeah.
one will notice if there's no one to notice.
That's
You're,
right.
you're the creature they tell stories about where you're hunched under the bridge and then you climb out with your giant spider limbs and you're like, there's a toll for this bridge.
Deal.
And you're like,
Yeah.
my car broke down and my mom's in Chimayo right now and I have to go pick her up, so I need bus fare.
I'm on my way to see my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We used to get those all the time. I'd be like, do you have a picture of your kids?
Yeah, I haven't gotten those in a long time. I think people stopped doing it.
Yeah.
We've gotten that semi recently. Like people are like, I'm out of gas. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
need $5.
Classic.
I'm like, that will not get you any gas. Just so you know.
Mhm.
I need
Yep.
a gallon of gas.
I need a gallon of gas. Yeah, exactly. I need a gallon of gas. I live a block away.
All right. All right. Yeah, so I'm pretty much done with mine.
Okay. Well, this is the part where I just get to talk at you about what you will do next, because I won't sit here for it. Well, I will, but we won't record
I get it.
that part.
Yeah.
So the thing that I think, as far as character creation goes, that is very unique to me about like all the places you get skill points from, is what you're going to be doing next and basically off screen.
Mm-hmm.
So your homeland that you already chose, your occupation that you kind of at least thought about, but maybe might be adjusting based on how things turned out, and the cult that you chose, all mushed together to give you this suite of skills that you'll get to add into your sheet. And then you will have some wiggle room to make adjustments. So just to give you a heads up of what you'll be checking in the book as you do this. So homeland, occupation, and cult, you'll be checking those. Then you can add 25% to any 4 skills, 10% to any 5 skills, but nothing can go over 100 right now. It can in the game, but not right now.
Okay.
Once you have those kind of all mushed together, there's a little bit of finishing stuff like your languages and like filling in some of the blanks on your character of your like names and things like that. But most of that, as far as digging through skills and making your adjustments, I think we can do offline. But I thought it would be fun to roll family heirlooms together before we stop recording.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. So it is a D20 roll, which we've done already many times because of the family history stuff. So it's only fair.
Okay.
And this table, if you'd like to follow along, is on page 83.
All right.
8.
10.
Ooh, 10. A magic POW storage crystal that can hold up to 2d6 plus 3 magic points. Or serve as a spirit binding matrix.
What?
Ooh, you got a crystal girl.
You got
What
magic
the
crystal.
heck? Oh my god. Okay, wait. Magic crystal.
Get your crystal deck out. Pull the card.
I know.
I'll put it in the chat so you have it there too, I think, maybe. Let me
crystal
paste.
storage.
Copy. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh.
Wow. Okay, cool. Kenny, thank you. You rolled a 14, Kenny?
I rolled a 14. It's a necklace worth 2d6 times 100 L, which is
Lunars.
Lunars?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Containing a 2-point spirit magic matrix for Glamour 2.
What?
Ooh. All right.
I'll
Be
trade
on page
you.
256. Nah.
Oh man.
Nah.
It's so like
I've already
Dez's
taken.
character to like get rid of
know.
your family heirloom of boringness.
I feel
Yeah.
I
Like
feel
no
like
thanks.
I feel that's right. I feel like I've already taken 2d6 times 100 L's this character creation.
Very true.
True and fair.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Wow, that increases your chaw by 8.
Chaw.
See, that's what I need. I need something like that. So it'd be a shame if something happened to that.
It'd
Uh-oh.
be a shame if there was a thief in the party.
Ooh.
Oopsies. Wait, Rainey, how do I direct message you on this? How do I send you notes?
Honestly, I don't know what this player side looks like. So
okay.
everything is a mystery to me still.
Oh. I did send you a whisper early, Rainy. I don't know if you got it.
Probably.
I whispered.
Whispered.
You go up.
Whispered?
Yeah, you go up to above the chat. It's like the party.
Mm-hmm.
Highlight
Oh, my
Rainey's
party.
name. Yeah, and then there's a little.
Oh, a little message bubble.
Yeah, a little text
Thank
bubble.
you.
There, I reply.
Uh-huh.
Les shots privates.
Kapow.
Okay.
Ooh. I got something interesting. I got a small stone figurine of a crested dragon newt pointing in a direction. The figurine is a 1-point spell matrix for a find substance spell. The player chooses what specific substance.
That's cool.
That's very
dope.
cool.
And very Sartar of you to have a dragon.
Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Find cocaine.
Oh my God, oh my God.
It does say substance, so
Yes.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's right.
it could be anything. Anything can happen.
Bro, I got this.
Oh my God.
Give me that kind of game. All right.
No.
Okay.
No. Ay. All right. So, Santi, what did you get?
I was hoping for a 17 so I could get a weapon, but I rolled a 15. So I got an ancient gold serpent armband with 2 points of a spirit magic matrix. See page
Ooh.
265, worth 2d6 times 100 lunars.
I'm
Lunari.
Nice.
I'm really happy none of us got the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which you could have like on a D20 roll. Hell
Yeah, on a D20, that's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad no one got 1d3 pots of rhino fat.
Oh, boo.
So
That is sad.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
that's
if I'd have
fine.
known that was an option.
Yeah. You know, I had some and I lost it.
Oh, boo. Oh my God. Cool.
I
Pots,
used
they're
it
like
all.
pea
That's why my
pots, so
lips
they're
are
like
so not
this big.
chapped right now.
Luscious.
Yeah.
So not. Yeah,
Rhino
3
fat
pots of
lip
rhino
balms.
fat. Yeah.
They've just
It
been-
says the smell is quite pungent.
Oh man.
You're just in the fighting pits, so you got to grease up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Dr. Cannon community.
There you go.
Exploring the. That'd be great.
Ay.
Nice.
All right.
Huzzah.
So,
So,
Rainey, you are amazing. Thank you.
I
So
don't know about that.
much.
I think
You
it was
are.
a little rough, but we got there.
You did great.
I'm learning a lot already, so it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so homework in the in-between, wrap up skills and details. If you want to give me a heads up on some of your details we didn't already talk about today, so I can add them to my secret happy notes, I will do that. And then what I think that we're going to do, just because, so the starter set adventures have an idea about where you all are coming from as the adventure starts. So I think I'm going to draft a quick little pre-adventure that puts you in the thick of things so that you do come out of that together and move on to kind of their
Oh,
first
wow.
adventure setup. So
Nice.
it'll be it'll be a little bit of an active combat-y sort of thing. But I will
A hot
say that
start.
the adventures are pretty well
Yeah.
balanced. They're not too combat heavy and too, so like there's a lot of variation. I think they're trying to give you a taste of the different flavors of Glorantha. And then plus we'll have some opportunities for some side quests and things depending on how characters turn out and all of that. So
Okay.
but yeah, so we'll get into it next time, but that'll give you time too, since we're doing kind of a little prequel in the thick of it mini adventure for the first one. If you need some extra time to be like, oh yeah, and here are some extra details as you're thinking of them, I'll have extra time to wrap those in as well.
Okay.
But yeah,
Cool. Thank you so much.
thank you for being patient and
Yeah, I'm
kind.
excited.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys
no, me
for being
too.
patient with me.
No,
Anytime.
we're all in this together. It's all right.
Yeah.
No, there will be much learning. And yes, for the Esoteric Order listeners who are patrons, I already roped David into a bonus episode where we just talk about some of the weird and interesting rules I'm about to have to get into, so that I am prepared for them. So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
yeah, no, this
Yeah.
will be good. 'Cause,
Cool.
Yeah, we're all just here for a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm
The point is
excited.
to
All the
have fun.
characters
Right.
are turning out so cool already. Like they're so interesting.
Yeah, I like it. And I think with the time that we have to kind of flesh it out and kind of send you
Mhm.
more info and then just kind of get them into more working order, it'll be really fun. So,
I
and then we can actually play.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah,
we
no.
have been playing this whole time. Character
That's
creation
right.
is play.
I agree.
This is out.
Creation.
This is like, do not encourage him.
See, it's a conflict because Kenny
Yeah.
sometimes agrees with me, which is very nice and rare, and then he'll agree with David a lot too, which is it's a conundrum. So
Yeah.
we'll get through it.
Kenny comes from a place where chaos starts with a K. Okay, so it's
Oh my god.
you can't trust one way or the other how it's going to go.
Oh my
Um,
German
God.
spelling of chaos.
But yeah.
Cool. Thank you, everybody. Great game.
World of Darkness, Chaos.
It's gonna be fun.
spelled with a K.
Thank you all for listening to this session 0 of our crossover game featuring Esoteric Order of Role Players folks and Just Barbarian Things folks. If you are not already a patron of the Esoteric Order of Role Players, please go check them out at patreon.com/esotericrp. Our bonus episodes, documents and maps and things we make for the game, all of those will be handed off to be patron bonuses through there. So definitely check those out. And since there's so many of us involved in this game, please check the description for where you can find us all, because we're all cool peeps. And if you liked the kind of ambient music that we had in the background while we were making characters today, that's all from Tabletop Audio. You can check them out at tabletopaudio.com. There's stuff for pretty much every genre, and it's free, so highly recommended. Thanks again. And until next time, spend your rage esoterically.